Rainbow. Ready? A 3, a 2, a
Wait,
1, 2,
no.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, oscillating forever. If statement not complete, if statement forever loop, and punching it.
I'm not doing it. Just play the intro.
Do it, do it, do it.
I'm not doing it.
Oh my god, so
Don't coerce option.
Yeah, I refuse to.
oh, sad face.
I just want to start a flame in your heart.
All right, and with that, we now send the shield posts as you return. Now, we are all gathered up, and you see the Roach men at the bridge head to your west. Here you are in the Tri-Cities area. What's the play to get by this dangerous raider group? Has your intrepid leader perhaps thought of anything?
I need to get roll 20.
In fact, I have. All right. I've been thinking, these roach fuckers are up there on that bridge. So what if we don't go on the bridge?
Is
You
that
see,
enough?
the current of the river travels south and east towards Crow's Nest. So, if we just build a raft and paddle out a little bit, we'll float right down there.
Oh, this sounds like a terrible idea. I'm in.
Yeah, why not? I
Indeed.
got rope, so we're already partway
If you
there.
find it agreeable.
So resolved, you find yourselves at the nearest convenient spot upon the river's shore.
So I feel like this is an important question to ask. Do Brahmin float?
No.
We're gonna have to build a
Do the
big.
nitrogen, do the I believe their nitro tanks
Maybe.
strapped to the Brahmin float?
Mhm.
That's actually a good question. But yes, as you arrive at
Why
this,
would we put her in the water?
as you arrive at this location, where I have definitely set up dynamic lighting,
Yeah.
you hear the radio break a moment, and you hear, "Hey people, 8-Ball here," and I just found a new track, so let's pop it in. Haven't listened to it yet.
Ooh. Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Ah!
Ugh.
Remember, 20 count while you're washing your hands.
Also,
Lee, according to definitely not a Google search I just did, cows can swim.
But can they look up?
That's not important.
Wait, can they?
They can swim. Swimming and floating are two distinct activities.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
Well, I can't imagine a cow's very good at providing enough upward thrust not to float for the most part. Most mammals float.
Yes, we need to build an ark.
And I feel like
Point
a
is,
cow
I'm
would-
saying we could use Lucky as a propulsion device.
Mm.
Oh shit! Yes!
Mm.
Oh fuck
What
yes!
is happening?
Two-headed cow rocket boat.
What is happening?
you see,
Insanity.
we treat it like a
I'm
water
strapping
chariot.
My cow.
We strap it up to Lucky, and Lucky swims us across.
I would say that is inadvisable. As my
I mean,
Yeah,
what
Pat.
else are we gonna
Pat,
do?
have you sent the thing that you mentioned
Sure,
to
but
my
it's not
DMs,
that
or where is it?
How does
You
Lucky
don't see
feel
the
about
thing
this
that I sent
idea?
you?
I look into its eyes. All
Never
four
mind, I
of
see it.
them.
I see it.
Ooh, it might be a JPEG though. Would be the only problem.
I'll fix that.
Okay.
But yeah, so you guys arrive, and you can't help but notice that several of the cars here have something strapped to them that the texture hasn't loaded in yet, but you can see there's sort of like a gray blob, like the game engine is churning to get them out there. There's probably a bit of set dressing implying some things about this area and what resources might be available here. But in the meantime, you are free to check it out. This appears to have been some sort of a perhaps soda jerkery.
Oh my. I've been known to partake in
Wow.
a little soda jerking myself on occasion. We had one back in the vault. Ooh, that seems to be a new asset. How interesting. My character totally says diegetically.
Looks to be destroyed.
Pity.
All right, I see in the middle there. That's a largely intact counter. And what's a counter but a boat on its side?
Oh my. Do refrigerators float?
Well,
Not
there's only
really,
one
no.
really fast way to find out.
I don't know how fast it would be. It seems kind of heavy.
Is the counter made of wood?
Mm.
Is this some kind of lockbox or safe
So,
or a metal container?
so that is a box, just a regular box, up by some sort of a setup that has some, a low bottle of hooch, tin can of meat, and yeah, there's a box here. If you open it up, you find some dirty clothing, upper and lower, and also some Blamco mac and cheese.
Oh my.
We'll take the
Additionally,
mac and cheese, the meat,
As
and
you search around, you see you find 5 loose surplus 2 rounds.
Ooh, nice.
No, wait.
Back to my
Over there.
question.
Yeah, the barrels on the left.
Barrels and a pallet. Ooh, guys, I think we're in the
Also,
money.
this mattress here.
Ooh, true.
Yes, in case we want to take a nap on the trip.
You guys,
Good idea, Charlie.
Hey, Rainbow.
Float. What do you mean?
did you not hear me that whole time? Or
Were you talking?
No.
I totally was. Cool.
No.
Alright. Great. Anyways, is the counter actually made of wood or
So,
metal?
So there are wooden elements of the counter. A lot of them are like plyboard and like other sort of semi-shitty bits of wood.
No
All right,
big
how
old
about
plane.
these?
How about the actually this would be in character? How about these barrels over on the left?
Yeah.
Do they have like holes in them and shit? Like how are they?
All right, so
They look pretty
Metal.
rusted up, but like
so first of all, how close do you come to these barrels, and do you bring Mage with you when you go over to check them
I
out?
was already over here, actually.
I mean, I moved my token to where I did.
You get
Now that you asked the question, I'm tempted to say further back, but I moved them where I did.
so. Your Geiger counter begins to tick, tick, tick as you get a little bit closer to this sludge latrine over here.
Oh no, is it the contents of the barrel that's producing the Geiger ticking?
At least one of the barrels. That being said, this barrel doesn't seem to be having anything radioactive in it, so it's possible the others don't.
Well, I suppose.
So
there's
the
only
barrels
one
are
to
like
find out.
not full of holes then.
No, they're well, no. 2 of them are, but the rest are not.
Interesting. Those 2 that are full of holes, are they the ones that have fallen over?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So, can I take my Geiger counter over to the barrels, the lids?
Oh fuck! I don't have enough people in the whereby to. Hold on, shit, Greg. You don't. Do you? You don't have a computer that you can jack your webcam into, even if you don't have the camera on.
My webcam is plugged into it. It just won't stay on the. It keeps falling off the fucking monitor because I'm using a different monitor.
Can you
So I
just
didn't bother turning it on. What do you
turn
need me
it
to
on
do?
when
So
you're,
like,
pointing at the ground?
whereby just needs to detect.
Yeah, I got you. I'll yeah, let me turn it on in a second.
You can leave it off and point it at the wall or something.
Yeah, I have a second computer.
No, it's not.
Hold on, I mean,
No, it won't.
yeah.
Literally, what needs to change is the number of people we have who don't have a hardware connected webcam.
Okay. Interesting.
Which, like, so nobody else duping themselves is gonna help. Yeah. All right. So that should be the right number.
It's gonna be
And
pointing at the ceiling the whole time. Unless I like, could I do this? Does that work?
Oh, it
yeah,
does
yeah,
have
that
a-
works. That works.
All right.
All right. And now I will, not for the last time, I'm sure tonight, put us in our places.
Okay, I'm kind of vibing with the song now.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty good.
All right. So,
Hmm.
you guys are here, and oh, what's this? You get a lightning quick texture pop in.
Oh my.
as you see Tyler too. Oh, what's that? Yeah, these cars had some canoes strapped to the top of them.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
Oh.
really?
Oh, well, shit.
Oh.
Look at the fucking barrels like a bunch of jackasses.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
Yeah,
Well, that
you do.
That works out.
A brief inspection of them does reveal, however, that basically all of their western-facing siding doesn't seem to be in really good condition. So about half of every canoe hull is ruined.
Hmm.
That tells me we have 3 whole canoes if we do a bunch of sawing and nailing.
Oh, good point. They do all seem to be symmetrical.
Yeah, we could like put these canoes on the side of this mattress here,
Yeah.
and then like strap Lucky up to the front of it.
Protect Ron like walks over with the doodle doodle doodle. Ron, what safe activity are we engaged in today, Ron?
Hmm.
Sailing.
I have not been programmed to sail, Ron. What does it entail?
That's alright, you'll be a passenger.
How many people could we fit on a canoe? If we didn't like add any like extra space or anything, just
3.
Like, three?
Hmm.
and I'm assuming
Not
Lucky
that
takes
way.
up 2 spots.
Well, Lucky's gonna be pulling the whole contraption. Like,
I mean, we
Like the
said
horse
that,
up
but
there.
you know, it might be better to get some paddles.
Yeah.
Well, we could convert 2 of the canoes into like a pallet catamaran.
Query, what is this word?
You know what
A catamaran.
Yeah, that one. I don't know much about swimming. We didn't have big bodies of
Polynesian
water.
tribes
underneath
used
the
them
water.
to
Underneath
sail
the
across
wall.
the seas. I believe there was a song by the YMCA about it. Not the YMCA, the village people about it.
What's
Really?
that?
Atlantis.
There was a bunch of
People
people in this
sing
village
that?
I visited.
Okay. Makes sense. I've seen villages.
Actually, no, I do like the catamaran idea though.
I actually don't know what that is. What is a catamaran?
So a
Just
catamaran
strap
is essentially
ropes
think like
up
2
together.
canoes with like a deck strapped between the 2 of them.
I see.
The thing from Moana.
I haven't seen Moana.
Failure.
Okay, well we're
You
gonna
are
pause the
a
stream real quick. You go see Moana, and me and back here.
We're gonna shut this whole thing down so that Rainbow can see Moana like a normal person.
I like how
Look,
straight.
I was
It's
in
just,
high school, okay? Leave me alone. I was in high school when that movie came out. Leave me alone.
okay,
Okay,
Zoomer.
fine. Rainbow.
But each canoe has a busted half.
Mm-hmm.
How well do the can we see how well the canoes nest inside of each other? Because hypothetically speaking, we could get 2 canoes and put them inside each other so there's a bad half on each side. And if they can fit snugly enough, that will form a watertight.
So yeah,
think it's gonna
who,
work.
So
who,
can we try one thing really quickly first? Can I just like take a canoe and like put it on the water and see if it floats? Like do they
Sure.
float? Well, like does the one side just fall in immediately, or like does it float?
Immediately
Like,
it's what-
so like the far end, like one side is like porous, so you put it in, and like, there is immediately water taken, and like it
Okay.
begins to sink into the water.
well, I take
Right.
it out then.
All right,
Needs to be fixed.
you drag it up the muddy shores.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, so we can't just use them.
So Lee, I have a question.
wanna
for you. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna ask something?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to go over here and check with my Geiger counter whether there's radioactive contents of these barrels.
Yep, the Geiger counter tick tick ticks because it is hot.
All of them?
So there is ticking around all of them, but based on like proximity, you managed to game out 2 things. One, yeah, and by the way, you would have taken a rad for this, but you do have rad resistance on your vault suit. This right here, his name's Paul Revere, by which I mean this barrel appears to be empty, and so is the one under it.
Okay, and they're not ticking
Not-
my Geiger?
No,
All
Have
right,
a
and they
hole
don't
from
have
them?
holes all over them?
they don't have holes. They are rusted to hell.
That's fine by me. All right, so we've got some pontoons. I'm gonna take them with me. I'm also gonna knock them, if I can. I'm gonna knock the contents of the pallet over this way, and grab the pallet too.
All right. That's interesting. Would you like to give me either a strength or agility jigging to achieve that objective?
I'm gonna call somebody over to be like, "Hey, can you help me with this? I'm not good at skills.
Agility jigging? Yeah, I can do that.
I'm
Yeah,
not good
don't
at
worry. Whirling out a pallet's just like picking a lock.
Ah, yes, exactly.
Can I be of assistance?
Oh yeah, can you grab this pallet thing? But make sure to knock the barrels away from people, like
Oh,
into
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
this is.
Robot's probably better for that.
Yeah, Charlie, as you
I'm
get
gonna-
no,
yeah, I'm
you
gonna
see.
go with
Yeah, so
What's up?
you notice
want the
that there
pallet
is
so
a
that
bit
it's
of radioactive heat if you get too close to the
Jigging?
barrels.
Strength jigging?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys see that this is like a ruined soda jerk, and there seems to be,
Oh yeah.
you know, various sundries tossed about. Fridge is knocked over. Console is bashed in.
The
Oven is dragged out a bit.
jerk actually works still.
Well,
Alright.
apparently I failed.
You touch a nozzle, and it seems to be resistant, like it's got something caked up in the gunk in the works. You'd think that maybe if you could make me an agility or strength repair, you might be able to knock it such that it perhaps gave life or whatever it was going to give.
let somebody else do that.
Lisa, you try to knock over the radioactive barrels. One of them gets knocked over and like bonks off of your head.
Unfortunately.
You take
The floor in this diner. Linoleum, presumably?
1 damage.
Oh shit.
I take a damage? Unlucky. Yeah.
Mm.
Thought I was just gonna take a bunch of rads. Okay.
No, it's not enough to punch through you. The floor here.
It looks like a tile, presumably linoleum tile.
Yep. You want to, and you see that there are like gaps where some of the tiles have been ripped up, so there is already an in at the edge of some tiles.
All right, I got a brilliant plan.
Oh,
Do I
Linoleum.
get the pallet or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's still 2 barrels on it.
Linoleum's
Sorry.
flexy and bendy
ooh,
and waterproof.
waterproof.
We
Yeah.
use the tiles to patch the holes in the post.
That's ingenious.
Wait, do I get the pallet or no?
I mean, you could drag the
But don't get the pallet, though.
You could drag the pallet around with the barrels on it.
Shake
Or-
them off. Shake them off. Do
Wait,
it
can I
Or-
try?
or
can I
you could-
try
you-
again
you-
to
you-
push them off?
Yeah, you could try again.
Okay. Damn, dude.
Okay, can we hear this different song, please? If I hear this again, I'm gonna kill myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, you hear the waiter turn out. 8 Ball's like, "Hey, sorry, I've been leaving this thing looping. Man, this is such a banger. I haven't heard a new song in a long time. There's one more play."
It's gonna get old fast. Oh my god.
We see Charlie jump into the
Oh, he's
river.
just trying to put his
We have to
pistol,
go
That
find
is
power.
his plan.
and
trying to
still
put his pistol underneath his riot mask, but like the armor's just too bulky. He can't bend his arms.
Damn, did I? So I
You
broke the pallet.
you obtain the pallet, but it is a bit broken.
Bruh. One
That's fine. All right, here's
Is it
my
still
thoughts.
like
right?
structurally sound though? Like,
The outer rim of it, yes.
okay.
That's
well,
kind of mostly what matters.
yeah.
You
Here's
can
what
also
I'm
use the
thinking.
mattress.
Caterer plans. We patch 4 of the canoes to make 2 catamarans. We use the tabletops from these 2 tables over here, as well as some of this corrugated metal sheeting and such to make the decks. Use the wood from the pallet to make the support structure so the decks don't cave when we're standing on them. Any other bits of wood or plyboard or whatever we can pull out from the restaurant. And then we need to fashion paddles out of some stuff and just kind of fucking yeet across the river. These don't have to be
Yeah.
perfect boats. They have to survive 1 river crossing.
Fair enough. What about so
Why don't we
can
do
somebody here help me figure out if this fountain works? Because if it does not, and probably even if it does, but I will feel really bad about doing so, we can take the wiring that seems to be connected to the equipment beneath it, and we can use that as a rope.
Or
Thank you for the subscription,
instead of
Dana.
Gunked up.
Yeah, it's big
Gunk,
gummed.
sticky, adhesive.
Ooh, good
we
point.
use the syrup stuck in the machine
Oh my god.
as adhesive.
Brilliant. This is amazing.
Won't
Capitalism
it
at work.
dissolve when we get in the water?
Post-world ingenuity at its finest.
It might dissolve after a bit, but like I said, we're crossing one river.
Ooh,
It's
good
alright
point.
if it's sinking a bit by the end.
It'd probably be water soluble. So that might
That's actually a fairly good point, though.
might not be good. Yeah.
Let's not worry about glue then as much and focus on, nails maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point.
All right.
I don't know how to search for things, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is once again Sydney is when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Literally, like the absolute best session for Sydney. Sydney would have been shining all over this, John.
Literally,
And-
all of this shit is Sydney
And
character.
regrettably, Boltrip is too good at video games, so he's in like a CS:GO tournament right now. And
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit!
I
we
suppose
did
I
not
can
that.
search.
I got a 54. What is looking for nails?
salvaging, it's under operational. You probably don't have it.
So I don't see any nails, guys.
So you go looking around and you see something that looks rusty and sharp, and you're like, that must be a nail, and then you accidentally cut yourself. And you're like, oops, I hope I'm up on my tetanus shots.
Oh no.
I forget. What's the bonus for secondary educational?
+5.
+5. So let's see here. Math.
Yeah, Sydney has a toolbox, but doesn't necessarily have a whole bunch of free nails on hand.
True. Nails seem to be probably rare.
So the magic
Mhm.
number to reach was 63. I got a 20.
Nice.
Oh, hey, there's big pieces of metal over here. Oh, but there's also some radioactive stuff.
All right, so Twembuey, you managed to find like a knocked over plasticine frickin' like tray of like lug nuts and screws, most of which have like rusted beyond use or have been like warped and like stuck together. However, you do find one still half wrapped box of nails within there, and you have, now about like, 30 nails.
Oh shit.
Well, and
Do
if
we
we still
use-
have if we have
yeah.
access to the carbonation from the soda, we can put the stuff in the soda, and it de-rusts it.
Oh. Oh, good point. So if there's any CO2 bottles or something on the inside of the soda machine?
Yeah, so do you want to like disassemble it and try and get to...
That probably is something I can do. Would
Do you have
any of my
repair? Do you have
tools-
savvy?
You know what I do have?
So physical might help you theoretically understand what you're doing here. So why don't you give me a
Yes, I theoretically understand.
give me a theoretical +20 pure skill test.
Oh shit, that's actually something I could potentially fathom doing. I did not.
And you hear the radio abruptly switch over to its regular programming.
Beautiful. I'm just like, I think there could be carbonation on the inside of this, but I don't have any skill set pertinent to taking it apart.
Honestly, I'm just gonna roll.
There's
I'm just gonna roll for
canisters
Sydney
and
at this
grab
point.
the
Oof.
plant.
Yeah, so Sydney doesn't seem to have any luck with a soda jerk. His techno barbarian ass is just not very well versed in this.
Dexterous.
I think we have a
Soda
plan of
jerk,
action, though.
Technique.
I mean, what we have everything we need, don't we? We have like
I mean, it comes down to we haven't decided, like, okay, the biggest question in my mind is how do we affix the linoleum tile patches to the hole?
Good point.
the nails.
Because ideally, we would use a combination of nails and adhesive, but we don't really have any adhesive.
Yeah. Pity that. Can I look
I
through?
want to check the trunks of the cars.
Yeah, let's check the cars and let's also check the cabinets to see if they have anything. That said, I'm gonna be useless in this, so I don't even know if I should bother rolling.
So,
What's the
I
roll?
mean, if we like distill
Yeah,
down,
I'm gonna
if we
use
What's the roll?
evaporate the Nuka-Colas we have,
this.
dried pop's pretty goddamn sticky.
Right,
Yeah,
but
but going
again,
in water.
soluble. We're going in water.
If it's sitting in between the two canoes, though, like
You got a point, and there's definitely some sort of gunk on the inside of the fountain. We could
also,
manipulate.
I don't know if you've ever had to clean up dried pop.
Oh god.
Like, yes, it's and you don't see the air quotes. Yes, it's water soluble. Dried pop likes to disagree.
I'm just a humble scientist, so I don't
I'm just
have
an incredibly unhumble historian.
indeed. So you guys,
I don't
you
know.
guys case the joint. You find four unbroken glass bottles, some dented silverware, one box of Abraxo cleaner, and about 20 bottle caps. You also find there's a tin of meat if you want to risk it. I don't know what else someone would be pinging here for. Rainbow?
I'm just being sorry.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
I just realized we could extract the syrup from the Nuka-Cola.
If you want to check the trunks,
Yeah.
the green car's trunk is unlocked. It contains one toolbox and 30 feet of rope. There is also 2 climbing pittons. In the burned out, like the basically destroyed, like hollowed out car, you don't find much other than rust and decay. In the other one that seems to have been driven into a bit the front wall of the soda jerk, you do find that the rear is locked.
I'll go ahead and
Jimmy it?
pop that open.
Jimmy it?
Oh fuck!
So
You can psych out if you want.
I don't think I can on that. That's
Isn't that
yo,
not your
graft
primary?
it is. Yeah, graft is my primary. Keep forgetting
We
what
do
my
have a
primary is.
crowbar.
True.
It's like a
Ooh,
lot of
I
things
wanna-
are bigger.
Do the
Check
cars
the
have
fridge.
seatbelts?
Ow! That really hurt me psychologically, but let's try it again. Hey, but it was worth it apparently.
It was very worth it.
Oh Jesus! Fuck.
I go ahead and bang it like
He just he kind of plays in the lock a
Yeah.
little bit, and then he just does like a dunk, 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 like he hits it like a couple of times in like random places, and it just like pops open.
all right, so you psych out.
yes.
So after a very psychologically damaging moment of as you're about to break off,
Well, I already took the psych out damage.
yeah, the thing in it, and yeah, because psyching out is when you're about to fuck up, but you're like, oh shit, and then you fix it.
No, I was at max.
Oh,
And
you
then I
already applied it to your token.
Yeah.
I'm a silly person. Thank you for doing that, by the way. So yeah, you managed to pop the trunk. Within, you find 3 clean pre-war one-piece swimsuits, 1 pair of clean
Ooh.
pre-war swim trunks, and a box of cigars.
Ooh.
Oh.
Additionally, you
huh?
find 1 life vest.
Oh, dibs.
Yeah, I tossed the life vest to whoever said dibs.
Now, and
And
bear in mind,
gonna light a stogie.
the life vest is a 2-condition outerwear upper body item piece.
All right, I'll note that.
All right,
down.
so you light up
See.
a very old cigar, and this tastes like communism. You check the box. These are Cuban.
My goodness.
Delicious.
I,
Was Cuba still communist by 2077 and Fallout?
Who knows?
I
get tucked
I
in.
did. They were
Reclaiming those
there were bays of various different kinds of animal, and every time the island repelled the imperialists. Very sad.
If you say so.
What a pity.
Once they ran, well, I mean, once there was no oil, like nobody would give a shit about it.
All
See,
right.
I was personally rooting for them when it was bays of the cops, but I suppose that ship sailed. What a pity. Sorry, that was a bad joke, and it was really forced.
A little bit.
Anyway,
How are we? I actually have no clue how we're gonna do this.
So
Yeah, no, but
here's
no,
what I'm thinking about. I think we do want to try to pry apart the soda jerk machine to see if there's some syrup in there we can use as
right.
shitty adhesive. Better than nothing. That
Well,
and the
if
various
we,
like
if we mix milk with the Nuka Colas, it fucking
Ooh.
takes out all the syrup from the water and use
Ooh.
that.
You sure?
well, yeah, but we hypothetically there's just
Like
some
that?
straight syrup inside the soda jerk machine, so we don't need to waste around Nuka Colas.
Right.
Well,
We
you
get
even have to
milk.
take it apart. Like, is there just like a replaceable like syrup thing at the back we could just like swap out? Like,
I don't think
So
there's any
this
milk
one
to those
is
beers.
a significant installation that's built into the counter.
how do
Getting
we
to the
build it?
back, you find that there is like some sort of a reloadable on the top, but it like actually opening it is going to be a little bit complicated because it's rusted bolts and such. And if someone wanted to do a strength jigging to get it open, and you would gain the bonus that toolboxes confer like a +20 for crafting to open this up without causing any damage. Also, someone's getting
What's your-
called.
What's your? I was gonna ask him a question. Heck,
Who?
I was gonna ask Greg a question. Fuck.
Yes.
Oh, that,
What do you need?
I thought that was your phone. Okay. What is your jigging plus agility plus strength is what?
Well, when it's plus strength, it's not that great, to be
Oh,
honest.
what is the roll?
It would be 5,
Wait, what's your jigging bonus?
3, and my strength bonus is 2.
Wait, 3? You mean like 30 or 3?
30. Yeah, it's just
30.
There, so 30.
So you're rolling for 50. Yeah, then you're still better than what I would get. So you can go for it.
Why is it still pretty? It's still pretty good.
It's
enough?
still better. It's still better than what I would get. Because you would end up with a 70 with the toolbox, and I would end up with 60. So it's still better for you to go for it. Because I don't have any in jigging. I just have 40 strength. But like,
Sounds like it's a Greg roll.
yeah.
We all on our phones? Like what?
Yeah, right? The whole goddamn game is on their phone.
I'm sorry.
Whack. I'm gonna be on my phone too.
I'm doing
my phone
audience
away.
engagement, damn it.
I put my phone away to stream.
Oh, I see.
Oh shit! Just missed it, huh?
Do you want to roll, Greg?
I think I did. I
Greg
was,
just did roll.
Oh, no, 70, right? Because you said 50,
No.
and then we have a toolbox for you. Which you said Lee said plus 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
oh
70.
shit! Okay.
So you
All
Well, I
right.
guess we're fine.
So Felix pops the top, and you find that there are indeed several different canisters back here. Unscrewing them and removing them is mostly simple for the first two. The others, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more complicated. Maybe other tools are involved. Maybe they're not connected right. Maybe they're stuck. You don't know. You could make me a perception savvy to know, or you could be Sydney. I'll roll for Sydney.
If only Sydney was here.
I'm gonna say that Sydney manages to help you extract. So you get basically like 3 tubes of carbonated water.
Ooh.
Why are we
Interesting.
why are we double hearing songs?
That's a good point. Can I take some of the carbonated water? Is it carbonated water or is it like carbon tubes and then also water?
No, it was carbonated water.
Okay.
Still carbonated. Wow.
I mean, carbonation doesn't really leave if it's like in an airtight
Yeah, if
tube.
you don't add
it wouldn't
air,
leave.
I guess that's
I'm
why
gonna take
the
definitely
cola
one.
still has that
If
fresh,
that's
crisp,
possible.
cold
Two
taste.
tubes of syrup. So, what
Flavor?
Flavor? Why is it? Why is it
Side of the bottle
European?
that says flavor.
Did it really say? Does it really say it the French way?
It does have a very un-American spelling to it, which raises questions of the patriotism of this mysterious substance that was in this supposedly all-American soda jerk.
Oh my god.
My goodness. How
If only those
cool.
people knew back then they were using French syrup.
Oh my god.
No, that's the correct spelling.
Hmm.
Oh,
I mean, you know.
Tolstein, you're in Canada, right? I'm kidding, can't.
Yeah.
Oh my
No,
god.
I am in Canada, yes.
So,
It's pretty close to the northern border. I guess it makes sense. They could have
So, I think we have the
we have the fixings
plan
here.
now. We have all the stuff we need. I mean, we probably want to pull
All we
some.
need is
The thing
wire.
to the left of the parking lot, is that like an electrical relay junction box place?
Yes.
Okay, can we just pull the fucking wires out of that?
I'm gonna take the wires from over here.
Yeah, so you just want to like rip up the wires because it doesn't look like any of this is powered.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you all give me an agility salvaging to see how well that goes?
I'm gonna check if my wires are powered first. Are you kidding me? I was alive when electricity was everywhere.
I mean, I suppose I got a 46.
All right, with I'll say physical helps you with this, and you have at least 1 in that, and you have plus 10 for primary educational area, so it's 20 overall. So yeah, I would say you examine the place and you rip it up, and you guys manage to gather like 3 bundles of wires and some electrical plugs. You have a
Excellent.
bouquet of wiring. How are you going to deploy it?
Rope.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, we're gonna use it to lash stuff together. We use the hardware,
Only we found some chewing gum.
linoleum tiles, and the syrup to patch the boats.
The
We then
hardware.
use
Well,
the various
what's
bits
the
of wood,
hardware?
Cables and
The
such.
nails. The nails.
The nails.
All right,
They're like
Hardware in like a hardware store sense.
so nails, linoleum.
And syrup
Don't
to
forget, we
patch
have
the boats.
60 feet of rope. So.
So you're patching the boats with it.
Oh, we actually have rope. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't even
Awesome.
need the
Yeah, we
wiring.
found some
I
in the
mean,
car.
we could use the wiring
I
too.
have some.
The rope is probably more valuable, honestly.
Well, actually, I mean, at this rate, can we just patch all 6, however many boats we need, and not bother with a catamaran? Just have like 4 canoes.
Yeah, and we could use the empty
Can Lucky fit on a canoe though?
the
Or-
empty barrels as a
No,
pontoon
no,
for
I
life.
Yeah,
guarantee you.
That's
Lucky won't be fitting on a canoe. Protect Ron and Lisa might also not be floating in canoes.
Yeah, we kind of need some catamarans.
Okay, I guess we're making. I think 2 catamarans would probably be sufficient.
If they're sturdy enough, yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do, right, is you're just going to describe the whole process for me, and we're going to build both of these catamarans, and then, once you're halfway across the river, we'll actually make the rolls to see how well it's been put together. So,
Wow.
so we've got nails, linoleum, and syrup to patch the boats. Describe for me, and you're shooting for 2 catamarans, right?
Yes.
And what's the central part of your catamarans?
Like the.
We're
The
gonna use the
pallet.
pallet for like structural stuff, along with any
tabletops
other
in here, right?
tabletops for like the surfaces, maybe also the countertops if we need more material.
Hmm.
If we need more structural bits, I'm sure we could poke around for some stuff.
Are these as modular as the art asset that I created for the hashtag Americana or Apocalyptic Americana tile set? Are they as modular as that asset depicts them as being? Because we could perhaps just take off a countertop.
Yeah, so you want like pry off countertops?
Yeah, that's like a
Right.
solid metal rectangle, right? That could
Well, they're
be
probably not
used.
metal, but
No, this is like the shitty cork board shit.
Oh, well, less useful.
Like the shit, it's like lacquered down on one side, and it's like looks like weird quasi cardboard on the other. You know what I'm talking about, and it begins to fold.
I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
just yeah. You can slap that all over your catamarans if you'd like. So you got so and
No, no,
tires.
very-
and you have two other tables. So you want to use pallet and 2 tables for one of them, and then 2 tables for another, and
I think we were thinking more like we split up the pallet, like just the wood, and use it to just like.
okay.
Nine
So
things
so you're
together.
breaking it
Wait, is
apart
this
into wood.
Is this a pile of pipes? Hold
Yes.
the fucking phone.
Big heavy metal pipes that do not sink. That like sink.
but we do
immediately.
have these railings.
Car.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you
Use the
Ooh,
railings.
and car tires.
Are there any car tires left?
So the spare is still in the green Corvega. The others are not usable or have been robbed.
Ugh.
Okay.
But there is
So
you do have one tire.
What about that? These aluminum railings, on the other hand, are very tempting. Can we knock some of them down?
Yeah. Okay. So you basically use your killer attack robot perhaps to just like put her foot on and just like depress and then snap off the railings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This will make the whole thing a lot sturdier.
So you are going to deploy the linoleum railings as part of the structure.
Aluminum, but yes.
Aluminium.
Sure.
The aluminium. Indeed.
There's
No,
like
just kidding.
driftwood
And to get
over
some
here we
extra
could
like
use.
footage.
Yeah.
Those are pipes. There's
There's
like
like-
some sheet metal right here, some corrugated sheet metal we might use for some.
Yeah, the pipes would probably be too heavy, but the corrugated sheet metal is probably useful.
Oh yeah, this is driftwood. You want to like see you're breaking up the pallet into like wooden bits to like basically form the supports, and you're lashing this shit with.
Mm-hmm.
And like nailing it together and then lashing it with the wood and shit and the.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome to mapping class.
So
In this class, we will be mapping.
so you make some
So-
stuff. So you've got So okay. So you have the sidings, and presumably you have the weak sides facing inwards, and you've got them patched up
Yes.
as best as you can with linoleum floor tiling, which you guys have to spend significant time like scraping up.
I'm assuming this is a very lengthy process.
Yeah, so you guys are going to spend like the rest of noon.
The rest of the second block.
Yeah, so the rest of like the second block of the day doing this. And you don't have any objections there? All right.
I mean, seems
Use-
a little silly, but pretty good for it.
So yeah, you guys strip up a whole lot of linoleum. You knock over some aluminum railings. You break up your wood. Do you guys also make use of the driftwood?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to give me perhaps a field craft, agility, or strength to help with that?
What's clumsy maybe? I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
no good at any of that.
Agility,
that would be
craft.
fast.
I'm okay at fieldcraft.
And the magic number was 65.
Oh shit!
All right, yeah. So you break up that wood and you get more fresh wood to reinforce your vessels with. So yeah, you guys have and then you lash it up. Do you deploy the rope or do you deploy the wires to lash it? I'd say
I'd say
30,
the rope.
30 feet is not going to do you a full lashing on more than one of these. So which
Well, don't
one?
forget, I have a thing of rope too. So between the two, we've got 60. I'm assuming.
Okay, so you want to spend your rope doing this.
I mean,
It
hopefully
is-
I'll be able to get some more.
Rope is
Alright.
And we
pretty-
also
I would
mean-
think rope is rare, like intact rope.
No, I mean we could get more. We could get more rope once we arrive at the place we're sailing to, more or less. And also, I mean,
Okay.
unless if the boats successfully make it across, we could just disassemble them for the rope at the other end.
Yeah,
To
not
sure.
land,
handling
like the midst of
wet
day.
radioactive rope.
Right, and that is, of course, also assuming that we don't have to cut the rope in order to make it useful as wrapping.
Yeah. So
Well, to be
You would
fair,
never
two
go
30-foot
get
lengths
worried.
of rope can become one 58-foot length of rope with a knot.
Right.
but it's
Yeah,
gonna be
still,
more
though,
than
I think,
2.
honestly, the wires. I don't see why we're reticent about using the wiring, because wiring
That's just
is
gonna come
basically just
apart.
rubber rope
No.
with metal
Not
on
at
the inside.
all.
Nope. I say
Yeah,
use the rope. We can get
More
more.
like,
rope.
all right,
Rope
it's
isn't,
more like
super
rubber
expensive or hard to get. It's
twine.
rope.
All right.
You need
With
some rope, I'll get you
metal.
some rope. We'll go to the store, we'll buy some fucking rope. We'll eat it. We'll
Okay, fine. We'll use the
I'll
rope.
buy some
Alright.
fucking rope, okay?
It's not my rope.
The mafia boss comes in. Jeez. Alright, we're using the goddamn rope. Moving on.
Yeah, we're using the rope.
All right. You're using the rope.
Rope for
You want
days.
that bit of give anyway. You want that ability to like shift a bit while you're on the water.
So you
Or
produce
raft, anyway.
2 catamarans, right? And you
We gotta name them.
I presume we split up the heavy things.
you do have to name them because you're also going to be crossing a fairly dangerous river in them. And I'm gonna need to know who's
Alright.
on which one.
The
Uh,
Archimedes
I
and the
wanna christen-
Galileo. No, okay.
I christened the one on the left, the unsinkable, and the one on the right, the probably sinkable.
And I step into the one on the left.
All right.
Oh my god.
So I'm looking around and I'm seeing this door as a very usable paddle. I
Oh, you
should
should
think that
paddles.
Oh yeah, we do need
I
that.
should think
Yeah,
that
before
all
we
the
head
other
out.
I should think that all the other cars
How
have
deep is the
usable
river?
doors that can be made into paddles, right?
It looks like it could be. Well, I mean, it's hard to say. It's dirty, murky water, and you're at one
Fire
shore.
bumper is a paddle.
Can I throw a rock and see how long it takes to sink? No,
I mean, you
see it drift
Yeah,
down,
you won't be able to see it as a lease ends.
Ooh, I've got it. Question, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to use my bio assorted. So perhaps I don't necessarily get this right on the money, but I would like to look at and perhaps compare the relative weights of our 2 robots with the lucky little
Like which one?
Robot?
Like which weighs more?
yes.
So
What are their relative weights?
robot. So the lightest is Protectron because he is mostly aluminum,
Interesting. Good.
and that is followed by your, slightly carbon fiber, slightly industrial steel killing robot machine.
Okay. So what I'm proposing is that Protectron and
yeah.
Rainbow's character are on the same catamaran, and Lucky is on her own catamaran.
All right, now where has Lucky actually been moved to on the map?
Sure. Look, he's right there.
Underneath Charlie. And furthermore, I would suggest that we employ the one. So these 2 right here, they're all their sidings are bad, right? Is what?
Yeah, we haven't repaired them.
Sidings
Correct.
bad. Okay. So never mind. We're all going on
Can
the
you ping the
catamaran.
tokens for it? Lee?
Yeah, I'm.
Unless we want to fix up one of those or something and just kind of perhaps alleviate the burden of the 2 catamarans, we could potentially use the linoleum to fix them up.
I'd say
And
this is
have-
probably fine.
Have like a 2-person.
If
Okay.
we're not overload's not going to be the issue here.
I doubt that, but maybe if we had a central. Never mind. I'll just let this happen. This is happening. Okay. I'm scared.
All right. Now you can stand on any of these 8 squares. You cannot inhabit the same square as another creature.
Okay. I'm gonna be on the boat part. The middle seems scary to me.
All right, and
I'm used to confined spaces.
if you
This
want to,
big
yeah.
thing up there and this big thing down here, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Can y'all move your token?
I did move my token.
Yeah, I guess we'll put Sydney with you guys
Sure.
with the robots.
Sure.
All right.
And
So
Charlie, why don't or somebody? Yeah, there you go. I like that Twombly's on the same boat as Twombly's.
Okay, and we have
Bovine
paddles
Barton.
sorted, right?
We're
Uh,
using like
Like I'm gonna be on a
Hardware.
different boat from
no,
Lucky. Like,
what
that's
what
not
what
happening.
what are you using for paddles?
car doors and bits of wood.
Like a
probably.
metal car door.
Yeah, I
For
was
the
gonna say,
stronger
no way of
members of
fucking
our
paddle-
party.
So
Not me.
Twombly broke apart the branches, and it can, you can use use some of them. You have like club oars. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're out in
Good
the
enough.
water. You're out in the
We
water.
need a whole lot of thrust.
I'm just
Uh,
like, this is a bad idea. I don't like this.
No, you're going to launch. So you're here, right?
And then the crabs emerge.
Where are you heading?
Vaguely crow's nest. I mean, the plan more or less is the current goes this way.
Yes.
So we're just gonna kind of cast off. The ships are gonna naturally go this way. We're just gonna paddle this way as hard as we can, hoping that we hit land here, but hoping that we don't get too far down the river before we hit the other side.
Sounds sensible.
All right.
Be right.
You cast off, and
I
you.
mean, ideally, we're gonna try to land at the settlement.
You find
His name was,
yourselves.
2 seconds ago, and I forgot the name of. But
Crow's Nest.
Wait, we're gonna
realistically,
try-
we're not going to.
Wait, we're not going through we're gonna land at Crow's Nest first? Why?
Because Crow's Nest is downriver and a sticking out point in the middle of the river from where we're casting off. So going to Crow's Nest is an easy and logical place to land on the other side of the river we know is safe.
Right. So you're in the water. You're floating, and you guys are paddling. Everyone who is paddling, could you give me a strength agility combined attribute test, just straight up?
Strength, agility. Okay.
Yeah. Jade.
Oh, can you swap me and Sapphire so I can be paddling?
Yeah. Yeah. You're swimming along. You're paddling along. All right. So you guys. Yeah. So Mage, you don't seem to paddle too well. Charlie, you paddling?
No, I would actually like to. I don't know. Would it be Overwatch? I just kind of want to like be with the gun out and kind of in
Ready.
a defensive position.
All right. Yeah.
and ready to shoot someone if they try to fuck with us.
My rolls have all been shit today.
All right. So.
Not had a single good
You
roll.
all mosey out onto the mighty Columbia. Your destination is over 1,000 feet away, and the journey is just beginning. Then,
And
you
the
start to feel the tide really begin to carry you along. Then you feel a bit of a buckling under you, as we now make the rolls for crafting. So I'll make 2 for Sydney. Okay. Okay.
No.
Now,
Ooh,
Pat,
that's not
you
good.
utilized your theoretical physical knowledge, so give me a theoretical physical pure skill test once, and
So I go,
and-
is the
Oh,
theoretical,
wait.
theoretical is your main, right? It's like
Yeah, I think.
yeah, it's your main. You
Yeah.
wanna?
I'm psyching. Whew, I'm so glad I did.
And for reference, it is Felix who is wearing the floaty, right?
Yes, I'm wearing a floaty and a rad suit, so if things go wrong, I'm ready for it.
Pat, roll me a d4.
Let me find my.
Isn't the
character
rad suit outerwear?
No, Pat, you just roll a
Is it?
d4.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Roll.
With
It's listed
15,
in
I
the-
think we're like fucking
Let me check.
okay.
All right, so you got so the situation proceeds. You guys find that both of your boats are taking water. A quick observation will reveal that the one that Twombly, Mage, and Charlie are on is taking water faster. Lucky steps between the two tables, and you guys hear breaking as they swivel inwards towards her, and the supports buckle.
Is there any way to salvage? Or are they just dead?
Oh
Oh
shit!
yeah, so I can't wear the radiation suit and.
This is
the,
why I
life
wanted a
jacket, so-
central boat, you dumbasses! Ah!
Have you
Okay,
ever
I
been on
guess
the
I'll just
water?
wear the life jacket.
All right.
Like, have you ever actually made a raft?
I mean, we were also using the
This
barrels
is about
too, right?
This
As
is about
pontoons?
roll. Like, the rolls determined this central boat.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I remember you saying you got the barrels for the purposes of using as pontoons, but we didn't have them on when you left.
Oh.
I mean,
I was thinking about them, but you don't really put pontoons onto a catamaran.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right,
Pontoons
so
are for
we don't-
stabilization, and our issue isn't that our boats are tipping over.
Fair. Can I just say that we have like one on the inside of the canoe, the one that I would have gone on?
So like I recommend. Okay, can Charlie just like move here? Like wait, I can't. Why can't I ping?
I mean, like, that would be something that I would have needed to know. Additionally, Twombly,
No, you're right. You're right. I'm not gonna rat.
you cannot occupy the same space as Lucky. So if Lucky is there, you go here.
Wait, is my roll 20 fucking up or something?
I like how all the weight on that boat's now in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Right. So you guys, the
Wait,
cables
why-
hold as things are lashed together, and you guys are crawling along, and you're continuing to paddle.
Wait,
When you
put Charlie here so that if it falls apart, you're in a boat.
But then I'll lose my Overwatch.
Who cares?
all right, so
I mean,
Charlie, I assume you move over there and then get your Overwatch ready again, right?
Yeah.
what if we just paddled faster?
All right. As you
Hey,
do this,
Lee, do you have the theme from Deliverance?
no, and they're probably pretty good about copywriting that.
Oh my god, that's a
So as you get further in, you do see there's a bit of an embankment in the river.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Lucky on the rock and keep going.
Yeah, you hear like a bit of a bursting sound from the river, and you hear
I didn't even think about Mirelurks.
you hear a. So they begin to like these Mirelurks look a little bit different, and they spit something in the direction of your vessels. There is yeah. So
Can I try to like body block it?
you want to get out in front of it and take it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's aimed for the center. So Sapphire, do you want to like physically move Sapphire?
Yeah, just like push her towards the back of it.
All right.
Then, like try to body block.
Okay.
as much as I can
Roll me an
without
agility
hitting-
bat plus 10 to see if you take that hit.
Okay.
I
do.
All right.
Just barely.
So the caustic acid flying towards you does in fact strike your body. What is the hardness on your upper body?
Hardness. Give me one sec.
Only
8.
I have my grenades still.
It is 8.
Oh shit! Duh.
Wait, do we have grenades? No.
I got one.
Oh shit, yo!
Yes, this would be actually a perfect time for a grenade.
All right. So
Do the violence well, please.
you have. Did you say 6 or 7?
8.
All right. So
5 res, 8 hardness.
4 gets through because the res is ignored. But yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you guys are in quite a situation. Charlie, you did have something readied. Your shot goes off and damages your own gun.
Oh.
Yeah, so and they're engaged in a bit of a range. You don't think that you're going to be in range of them too much longer. So Lisa gets hit, but this boat does not have a robo body blocker, and so you have a bit of an acidy whoosh, burning through you.
Running through the
Hey,
boat, or
wait a sec. The Abraxo, that is a powerful base, which would counteract a powerful acid.
So who has the Abraxo
Question
cleaner
is,
in their
is the Abraxo
inventory?
on your boat or our boat?
I think it's unlucky, isn't it?
Fucking took it. I think
Oh, yeah,
it's
probably.
unlucky. Give
All
me
right.
that Abraxo. I need to do a biological roll for this.
Actually ingenious.
And give me a biological physical combined skill test if you get the Abraxo.
So, I mean, like, yeah. What do you mean
Right.
if I get the?
Well, I mean, so like Twembly, do
Twembly,
you
you're
toss
over
the
there with
box?
Lucky. Toss it to me, please.
Sure.
Wait.
I don't know if you wanted that too. Oh, I got a 4 on my thing
All
with
right.
the strength.
So
Oh my god!
Mage manages to clean it up. You guys, the rock you pass to either side of the embankment with the Mirelurks. Do you shoot at the Mirelurks? They do seem to be reeling around to perhaps spit at you again.
Yeah, if that's
Sure.
an option, I fucking
If it'll,
shoot.
Well,
if
I
it'll
would say-
stop them from taking another shot.
I'd
sure.
say Mage, you're a little bit busy.
It's a pity because I got a 31.
Well, that's why you should ask.
Can I pop a shot after I finish dealing with the acid spell?
Well, with a range of 250 meters, maybe.
Protect Ron will pop a shot.
I'm within half. I don't know. Wait, is that plus 10 or plus 20?
Protect Ron.
Is within half range, but plus 10 or plus 20, Lee?
Plus 10.
Ah, I miss.
All right.
Protect Ron critted.
On the money for the repeater rifle.
That would be 68 then.
All right, roll me an extra d6.
You have your greater than sign wrong, by the way, Twembly. You want your low
Yeah,
to be,
I
you
need
want
to
your roll
go
to
through
be-
and fix all these freaking macros.
Yeah.
All right, and
So happy about science.
all right, so let's see. Protect Ron fires a laser at the Mirelurk's upper body.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna put all the shots into the closer one. We'll assume this one's kind of behind the rock and would have been a harder shot. Deals some damage. That's the 9, the 10, the 11. And all right, so that's their hardness. So, and then that's their res. Yeah, so that's some significant damage at the laser as it cripples the upper body. You hear that crippling sound as some chitin gets seared away terribly. Bullet
Yeah,
coming in
take that.
right after it.
Whoever liked chitin anyway.
And then 4, 6. And then
I too am a fan of Kite Man, yes.
I think Rainbow yeah, so Charlie, did you take another shot or
I'm actually gonna wing a fucking motherfucking grenade at it.
okay, what do you are you like a Molotov?
No, I have a shrapnel grenade just
All
chilling
right.
in my inventory. I'm gonna fucking huck that at that son of a bitch.
Wait,
Right over
do you,
here.
Do you need to? We're almost gone.
Oh, really? But still, I hate Mirelurks. So
Well, what if they swim at us? Then we'd be
Let 'em do
even less capable of dealing.
Yeah, you
with
throw
it.
you pull the pin on this weird little like shrapnel cylinder. You toss it. Give me an agility based marksmanship. And Sapphire, do you shoot at the Mirelurks?
Not good.
You're not feeling it.
There's a grenade heading over there.
Yeah, you let it do. All right, so give me a D4 for the shrapnel grenade's damage, and then a 2D6 for its rip. You do not do great on the primary damage. You do all right on the. You do average on the rip damage. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because they have that as their hardness. You doing all right there, Rainbow? And we've got. Yeah, so basically you cripple this Mirelurk, and it like sort of sinks into the water, damaged as the grenade goes off. This Mirelurk doesn't really give a shit. It comes up for one more spit at the unsinkable before you come out of the range. That is going to be a hit to the rear. Now, Felix, here's a question. What do you think Protect Ron would do when they saw a dangerous projectile flying towards you?
It would protect Ron.
All right, so let's see. And they get the agility, so they step up to protect Ron.
Glorious.
But I didn't think the unsinkable and the probably sinkable would be such prophetic names.
You're a namer.
Wait, is
You
Protect
now
Ron okay
worried
though?
that I cursed the other one.
Is Protect Ron like okay?
I'm glad we
though?
didn't
Or
have
did
the
you
robot
bless
on the sinking
that
one.
one?
So,
like, your
Protectron is terribly seared and is at 2 vitality. It goes Protectron, and with that, you do come out of range of the Mirelurk Spitters, and you find yourselves closing in on Crow's Nest, or I should say, one of you does. So the unsinkable is on course, but the sinkable has begun trailing a bit to the left.
Ooh, fuck.
The people on the sinkable are going to need to give me some oomph or some creative thinking if you'd like to correct your course.
So, what if Lucky swims?
All right, so you want to put the Lucky's like back legs in there and like have them paddle?
Yeah. Frankly, I think that's probably the most prudent decision to make.
Would
But,
would Twembly facilitate this?
Facilitating.
Sure. I don't,
right.
I don't
Okay,
approve,
wait,
but
real quick.
I don't see another option. So
Real
Doggy
quick,
paddle.
like Lucky has like reins, right? Like we have to have some way to like walk him around, right?
Not with a cow.
you just grab him by the horn.
Really, he doesn't have like a leash kind of thing, like.
Probably.
I mean, it would make sense if we gave Lucky a leash.
Like-
That's a DM call, obviously.
What I'm saying is like just the middle is falling out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like the support beams like falling apart too.
I think the middle is falling out, is what I interpret.
Well, I'm asking a question, like.
Right.
I mean, we can say that there has to be some sort of like a leather harness set up to like hold all the shit that's on Lucky.
Sure. So my question is really, can't like the humans just sit in the boats, and Lucky just like be kind of trapped between the support beams in the middle if the floor falls
Lucky
out, and
does
then just
have those 2 canisters on him and or her
Really?
from I want to say the factory we blew up.
the
Canisters
nitrogen
of-
tanks, you mean?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
do they float? Or...
Well,
I
is
don't know.
nitrogen...
I know nitrogen is very light, but I don't know if it's like
I think
actually
it comes
so
out
light
of
that it can float.
us.
That's not really my point though. What I'm saying is like Lucky is kind of trapped in this like square of like boat support beams, right? And as long as Twombly just like holds on to his like harness, right? Then like Lucky can just swim and like just screw the middle parts. Like the humans can just sit in the boats, and as long as the support
I mean,
beams,
we're all assuming that Lucky can swim. That's kind of a leak hole.
as long
So
as
the
as long
Lucky,
as the
the step through was of a single leg that sort of punched shit open, and Lucky's leg is either still stuck there or they've pulled it out. But it's not like their like lower body is there perfectly set up to paddle.
So we
like-
can maneuver Lucky.
You'd probably need to bring him to the back and have him like hang off the back. If that's what Twembly decides to do, Twembly is managing Lucky.
Or we could put Lucky I'm having trouble with words. Perpendicular to the canoes. The canoe's sideways and Lucky's floating on it like it's a floater, like a pool noodle.
Okay, so you mean like pushing off this way as a jet to correct your drift. Because you are leading left. All right, yeah. And with that, I think given appropriate how Lucky's named, could Twembly, Charlie, and Mage all give me luck rolls?
I'm not going to
Alright.
do well on this.
That's a D10.
D10 plus your luck. Yep.
Ooh,
what's your luck?
Let me find my luck real quick. I think my luck is
damn
based
good.
on
It is 12.
D10 plus
Okay,
our
well,
luck.
okay, my luck is
Yep.
9. Maybe I am lucky. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it though.
I got a big old 20.
Yeah, it's a D10 plus your luck.
Oh,
What's
nice.
Twembly's luck? Your luck is a 9?
So, 14.
Yeah, I just looked at my character sheet.
all
for the
right,
first
yeah.
time.
So
Yeah,
with
lucky
that,
Then-
you
I mean,
guys,
First party got a 20, so
you
I
guys,
guess I'm lucky.
you guys wind up correcting your general drifts, and
am I the most unlucky in the party? Probably.
you find yourselves coming in on the northwestern shore of oh, hold on, let me delete your doppelgangers real fast.
Rip.
Hey, who are those on the south?
Oh,
I
who?
know,
I don't
that's
see
the
anything
idiot
but a
there.
I mean,
black
I actually have a
screen.
doppelganger, so that,
Oh,
that could
hey.
be worrisome.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
y'all
Our dilapidated hell.
y'all are
fest.
coming in, and the boat that Twemley, Mage, and Charlie are on is sinking very
Could you shift
rapid,
me, please?
shifting
There
very
we are.
rapidly, and you're losing ground. And yeah, you guys are about to wind up in the water. Meanwhile, you guys are still coming along just fine, but you are made dead on. You're gonna hit this like rock cluster with the center of your boat. So does anybody want to give me some, or should I say, people on the Sydney side want to make me some strength rolls, some strength agilities?
You're not on that boat.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'll try, but I'm not gonna do well.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Twembley, Charlie, Mage, is there
How do you say
anything
it back?
anything you can think to do to stop the fact that there's radioactive water coming up at you from giving you some a splash of rads?
I already did my
Uh,
science thing.
Can I jump? Before I
You want to try and
So
jump
yeah,
to
I
shore?
As quickly as I can, I stuff any cloth I have on me into one of the 4 condoms I have, and stuff those in the holes.
beautiful.
Amazing, amazing. Can you give me?
Tectron does well.
Can you give me
Honestly,
an? Can
probably-
you give me an agility repair plus 40 with that brilliant plan, Twembley?
Onto this.
And Charlie,
Yes.
Charlie, you want to do me a running jump, right?
Yeah.
What's your strength?
I'll be honest. I don't know how this is gonna look. I don't think this is gonna work out for me. My strength is 2.
And what's your agility?
Right, literally on the
Also
money.
2.
Oh, you mean like those are your bonuses? Yeah, I would say with that, can you give me a strength agility combined attribute test, a cat, if you will? Now, Twembley, with the plus 40 from the plan, does that
Yes, literally like right on the dot. If I won higher, I would have fucking failed.
All right, so Twembley, you managed to stuff the ones in your canoe up enough that even if the water's really slapping over the side, you're not getting too much in the way of rads. All right, so you're just gonna bail out like into the water, or are you also gonna do a running
Yeah.
jump?
No, bailing as in like I'm bailing out the
Oh,
canoe.
and what are you using
What?
what are you using to bail with?
Honestly, probably something I've picked up over the
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, Charlie, you get one foot into the wet mud, and
Maybe
the
some
other
scrap metal.
leg trails into the water as you take a splash for 3 pips.
Ah,
And I'm
Now
also
my
kind
boot's
of
gonna be
relieved
all
that my
soggy.
canoe got a little lighter just now.
Yeah, so Mage, you want to bail? Give me
Yeah, just like bailing.
give me an agility bat plus 10.
Oof.
No.
All right, so yeah, so Twembley, you only take 1 splash, and Pat, you try and get the stuff out of you, but you unfortunately get 2 pips, and oh, that boils over into a point.
Oh no! Oh, my insides feel funny.
Yeah, and that is actually your first rad point ever.
Oh, God.
You were at
That's
0.
bad.
Yeah, so you all, your ship,
I don't like that.
your ship kind of it reaches the shore in pieces. Like one of the tables winds up just like sinking to the bottom of the river.
Can Twemley ride Lucky to the?
Yes. Lit, yes. Say yes.
Can he like surf him like?
Yeah, you ride it in on your Brahmin.
Just standing, like not even riding, just standing on.
All right.
top of
So
it.
meanwhile,
He lets Lucky
who-
like go for it. And he like jumps
what
off.
the fuck? Hold on. What are you guys on the Felix vessel? The
Can I make
unsinkable.
a check, or am I just incapable?
I mean, what would you do? Like, do you want to be over here and paddling to rotate it more like this? Like, what's the plan?
Protectron did a very good job, so I'm going to rely on the strength of Protectron to save me.
So your very badly damaged assault Protectron, you want to be like leaning into the water.
He rolled a 2. He did a good job at it. That's all I'm saying.
Like, can I move somebody out of the way and get to the front corner? Like,
I mean, do you want to knock Protectron into the water? Or, like, move out of the way is a really interesting concept on a precarious perch with a killer robot.
I will pick up Felix and put him behind me, and then step to the front
Voting-
corner. Not Protectron. Protectron can stay where the hell he is.
Wee.
And then I will like kind of like put my hands on the ground and just sort of like stick my legs off the edge and try to like kick it as we get close, like push off it with my feet. If that's even
Damn, why does
possible.
copy pasting Protectron always seem to fuck him up? Whatever. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, you can make a roll. Are the other people on your boat also going to roll? No, but the Protectron, it's the robots. It's just the robots. All right, go for it.
What's the roll again? Sorry.
Combined attribute test, agility, strength. If you just want to straight up paddle.
So 75. Sorry.
But does your baby love the Western movies, though?
Oh.
Does she?
All right, yeah. So, Lisa, you managed to guide the sinkable in just fine.
No. Literally tells that it's just Jack Sparrow.
This is the tale of Captain Jack Sparrow.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm surprised the Coast Guard didn't like catch us on the shore. They're
Yeah,
already
so
shit at their job.
they do come over when they hear of the commotion, but they are not really used to people actually like taking those vessels. Thomas E. Blankenfeld is here and says, "Wow, what's going on here? Do we have an unauthorized landing? I'm going to need the registration for these crafts."
I do a little salute. I'm like, permission to land.
I permission granted after the fact, I suppose.
Well, you know, you weren't
Just
here when we
interacting,
got here.
As you can see, I have no craft.
Yeah. So as you're exchanging pleasantries, you hear the report of a high-powered rifle, and you hear a quick whiz over your head. The Coastie gets in cover, and Thomas E. Blankenfield gets in cover. He's like, "Right, this is the north side of the island. Maybe we should carry this out, in knife hands somewhere else."
We shot on the fucking ocean.
I will
God
stand.
damn
I
it.
will stand between the shooters in Sydney, and then like
Hmm.
I'm
All I
just
hear
run
is-
over.
I will have you know, I'm upset at you for not getting a shot in the middle of the
No,
ocean.
no. Here's my theory: is that they could see us while we were on the river, and they were taking bets.
honestly.
Honestly, yeah.
Which is why they didn't shoot, because that would be interfering with the thing they were betting on.
That's honestly super believable.
Yeah. So you guys, you're free to move to cover. You're not terribly under duress. Much, if not immediately secured, much of the sinkable is going to drift away, but some of it will lodge on the northern shore.
I want to.
Nothing
Can
of
you move?
mine
Can
is
you move
bad.
Sydney for me, please?
Yes.
I'm not just gonna like leave him to be shot, but I also would like to move.
Okay, so where do I get a bad way? I don't like this. I feel warm in the bad way.
Yeah. So there are merchants in this town. Definitely not Feral Ghoul is gone by now.
Yes, I have some shopping to do now.
So this was the bar that we were in earlier.
Indeed. There are some
That was
merchants
pretty
by
cool.
this like
Really
trash.
shot
There are some trash people who look around like, "Oh, looking for trash?"
Don't worry,
Trash?
I already
Not
am.
that bad, are we?
Nah, I'm not in New Jersey.
Hey,
What?
I live in New Jersey. What?
I'm sorry.
Everything
What
is
was
legal
this?
in New Jersey.
I'm sorry that you live in New Jersey.
Yeah, I am too. We have like one of the highest rates of coronavirus infection in the states. But
How do you
Yeah.
say water?
water?
Oh, no.
What? What's wrong with the way I say water?
Hey,
Totally booted, eh?
okay, how do you spell the word?
W-O-B-B-E-R.
WOURDER.
WATER. Water.
Water.
Water. What I'm saying.
What the?
Water.
We could have a.
Oh my
You
god.
You know she's fucking with
I
you.
have
right?
an example.
They're saying the exact same thing. Water.
What are you on about?
Stop.
I'm on about the fact that you're condemning my speech.
So Felix, Thomas
No,
E. Blankenfeld would
You
come
fell for
and
that, but flock of
give
cows
you a
didn't work.
brief, you get a brief update and interview on your situation. Ask, what's going on here. I see you've acquired some vessels, and you've parked them on the north side of the. They don't seem to be very river worthy, though. Do you want to register these craft?
Vessels is a big implication there.
Okay, what was
Right
the last
now,
thing you
they're
said?
waterlogged
Pat
pieces of
spoke over you.
Actually, these trash guys might be kind of useful, and we can repair those.
Do you want to register these craft?
Nah, I think we're single use sort of deal. Do you want
I
them?
see. No, that's quite all right. I mean, I imagine that the trash man will cometh. So, I hear a lot of crinkling through someone's mic. If you could not, we are. Yeah. So Thomas E. Blankenfeld gesticulates and says, "Feel free to, obviously move about the island, but in future we would like notification of any waterborne landings. It can sometimes attract attention, especially from the lurks."
Yeah, sorry, wasn't exactly a planned thing. The bridge is all, roached up, if you catch my meaning.
Oh, were there rad roaches there?
Yeah, plus a bunch of people who seem to have achieved symbiosis with the rad roaches.
Oh, the roachmen.
Yeah,
Yes, we've encountered them before. Sometimes they come by and try and sling shit, but we have a greater range than them on that.
Greg, please.
I'm
Greg,
sorry.
you can mute yourself.
And then eat and
My
then.
hands were very slippery, and I thought I could do it without. I didn't want to touch my mic. I didn't want to touch my.
Lewd.
Or no, stop!
Was
Don't do that, please. Don't do what you're doing right
All
now.
right.
Yeah, so
Yes, we probably want to restock here. Get our druthers in a line.
I would say
Yeah.
so.
certainly. So Twombly, you walk into the bar. Tabitha Emran is there, polishing a bottle, and she's like, "Oh, howdy there, stranger. You wouldn't happen to have been by IH yet?"
No,
I'm
not yet.
blanking as a player. I know that's directed at me. I cannot recall for the life of me.
It's a
Um,
name that we've heard before.
I'm pretty sure that they mentioned.
Oh, yes. No, not yet. There's complications.
Met some trouble on the way.
Certainly. I take it you've just arrived. I heard a crashing sound.
Yeah, that was
That'd be the woman in the blue suit.
It was the cow. The two cows in one. The Brahmin. That thing. And also me on the same boat. Yeah.
They're like, "Well, we
An
approve of
exchange.
all of this, so you're free to do about your business." The coasties sort of return to their office. They coast on back.
Booze and rope. I require booze and rope.
She's like, "Well, sounds like you're in for a fun night. Let me
Sounds
see."
like-
Right, so booze has a listed price. I would say that if you want to look around, the trash man has some, some hempen rope, perhaps about 90 feet of it. He wants to know what you have to offer in exchange. Not
Offer
every.
him the boat.
The boat, yeah, the boat.
And also the boat.
He,
We have a bunch of trash with Lucky.
yeah, the trash man is.
There's CO2 tanks that I don't know why we took in the first place.
Toothpicks?
CO2 tanks
Oh, yeah.
from
I'm-
the factory. I don't know why we have.
So
them.
those would be nitrogen tanks, wouldn't they?
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we took nitrogen tanks from there, and I took the CO2
No.
tanks.
You're from Nitrogenics?
Nitrogen? Where do we get nitrogen?
Nitrogenics.
The place I blew up.
Yes, the place that Pat very quickly blew up.
Like the nitrogen
For which
facility
I'm
you were
very
at.
Sorry.
The thing that Pat disintegrated.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, we have nitrogen tanks with a condition of 3.
You offer him a nitrogen tank?
I mean, I don't know why we have it. I don't know what we would do with it.
Wait, he doesn't want the boats, but he likes garbage.
The trash man's like, yeah, but to get out there and get that, I'd actually have to risk my life. I'm not going to pay for the privilege to risk my life.
Well, what if we did it? What if we went out and grabbed the boat parts, brought them to you?
Guys, we
Then
have a bunch of trash.
it would depend on the parts.
What about mostly intact canoes?
Nails? I could go for some nails.
I said canoes, but nails works.
Canoes? Oh, I would love a canoe. How intact is the canoe?
Mostly. We patched it up with some linoleum. Should be good. It was waterworthy.
The linoleum was, in fact, not good. So, yeah, you want
I offer a pack of cigarettes.
He's like, ooh, and it's a full pack of cigs.
I mean, I'm assuming so. It's written down as a pack of cigs, and it
All right.
was one of the things I got with character generation.
He opens it up, sniffs it, taps one, says, all right, yeah, I'll give you 30 feet of rope for a pack of cigs.
Let's go salvage the fucking boats, guys. Come on. This is not.
All right,
shouldn't be
so do you want to go and grab
we
a
also
canoe?
have like
Trying to get
8 machetes.
Hello?
You have what?
We have
We have like 8 machetes for some reason.
Do you want to offer him a machete?
I figure several.
All right, so you want to offer? He's like for a pack of cigarettes and 3 machetes, he will give you all 90 feet of the hempen rope.
Okay, that works.
Done. Because we don't need 8 machetes. I don't know why we have 8 machetes. Unlucky.
We just never sold it.
You never know. We might all need the dual wield machetes one day.
Dual wield, yeah.
Combat knife.
Yeah, so
Better with combat knives than I am.
Obviously, this
Combat
trade is
knives
what we
are-
needed them for.
I mean, it's not bad, to be honest.
yeah, so you make an exchange of goods with the trash man. The trash man says, "Pleasure doing business with you. One man's trash is the trash man's treasure."
If you want to treasure something, the boats are over parked on the coast. I can't imagine we're gonna need them again.
He's like, "Oh, don't worry, honey. I've always got my eyes on him." But yeah,
You can always, use the machetes to deflect the bullets.
And I just like idly go about the process of putting knots in one of the lengths of rope at like every 5 feet
all right.
for climbing.
What do y'all do other than that when you arrive in town? Because I know that you guys might want to do some shopping, but that is probably something that's best done between sessions. But I understand you might want. There's some things you might want to get and do before you head out. I will remind you, however, that you have arrived in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So like you're in. This is the third. This is the third
show
block
us
of daylight.
The world map?
I absolutely need to deal with some
like
of
the
my rads.
India
Like
map?
I'm at my max pretty much.
For
For
what?
your rads?
My rads.
How many points do you have?
That's a very good question.
Because you have 7 pips, but there are people with like whole ass points. So like,
Yeah, I've got like 4 points.
oh
or something
geez,
like
Yeah,
that.
no.
what happens at 5?
Depends on your resistance.
So what's
What's a rat
wait what's Twembly's res?
Oh, I don't know.
What's your resistance?
Rad-X reduces how much radiation you're taking in.
Yeah, you might rather.
My resistance is 3.
Wait, and you're at 4 rad points?
I mean, as far as I know, I could be wrong. It just says 7 bits
Nope.
on the thing, but
This happened last session, yeah.
Okay. That when it goes over your resistance, that is a reduction of 1 on your max vitality. So yeah, you might want to get rid of that.
Yeah, you probably need some right away.
And if you go 3 over your resistance, you start risking mutations.
well, I have a green number here that says 3. I don't know if that's
Ooh, do we have
I
to
don't know
roll
where
on the
the 7
mutation
comes from.
table?
Yeah, so your res is 3, and not yet. You guys need to take a lot more points than you have right now to be rolling for mutations.
I don't think I
Here's
have
a question. It doesn't explicitly say anything about this in the document, but could we
That's
see a
nice.
doctor about radiation?
Thing going.
Because generally speaking, in Fallout games, they can deal
Yeah.
with radiation cheaper, if albeit more time-consumingly than just rat away.
Well, hello.
In theory, yes. You don't know that the doctor here is Swiss Cheeses. Thank you for following. You can name a random generic NPC if you'd like. Hey, Jur.
I know the doctor here. I'd rather take Rad-X.
Hi, I'm a doctor in training.
Yeah, so
My point exactly.
if you
Where's
had like sufficient like tools available to you, and you were a doctor, then yes, you could time consumingly remove radiation. Also, you said
So
you
the
wanted to
doctor
see
here
this map.
might
Do
not
you
be
still want to see this
Yeah.
map?
Well, really quick, like, are we? We're trying to go here now, right? To IH Regional.
Yeah.
Right?
Bear in mind, that is a densely urban location, so it's not like you're going to cut an at all straight line through this ruined post-nuclear cityscape.
I'm sure. How long do you think it would take us to get there?
That's something that you're not going to know until you're out there, because you don't know which streets are traversable and which ones have ambushes you'll spot you don't want to go down, and which ones will just have ambushes that go off and you have to fight.
So how long would it have taken us to get there pre-war and we double that?
So, like, you
I
can
don't
move...
think any of us are familiar enough with the area to guess that.
Well,
But, like,
if she's got a
walking.
map on the
It would have
gal.
taken. It would take like a negligible amount of time to get there. It would take a negligible amount of time of a quarter of a day to get there, assuming that you could just walk in a straight line. You can't, but
So-
assuming you
You
could.
can look up
It's
the
gonna be a
distance
day.
on
Yeah.
Vault Trek.
Yes.
It's gonna be like a day and a half, I think,
Well,
probably. Considering.
So like, yeah, let's probably sleep here tonight and then do it in the morning.
Sounds good to me. And Lee, in the time between now and when we wake up tomorrow, is there any chance I could reduce radiation upon a party member or two?
With what?
If you could rat away.
I have Rad-X.
That allows you. That helps you resist taking radiation at the time.
Yeah, it only helps with resisting it.
Okay. You guys were mentioning that doctors had some way of reducing.
So, like, yeah, if you had like a doctor's office with like obviously, like when you had in your vault when you had access to an auto dock, yes, if there was like a reactor leak or something, you know that machine could have been used to reduce radiation. Like out here in the
There
middle of
are
nowhere,
machines in
you've
this
got what you
universe
got on
that
you.
are capable of reducing radiation, is what I'm hearing.
If you're a trained doctor and you know what you're doing and you have the resources available, yes.
I'm most of that. So
And removing chemical
I
addiction,
think you're one like half of one of those things. In fact,
exactly.
that's not most. That's not how that works.
I mean, I'm a doctor in training. It's only nominal after all.
And you don't have the resources, and you don't have the facilities.
Exactly. That's the. But if we found a hospital.
Thank you, Swiss
Well,
cheeses. We are in accepting
Might we
space here on
spend
Diesel
some time
Shot.
today, fixing up the robots.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
I request-
We need them to live.
And that's just playing God once the robots live.
Yeah. So, and here's a question: do you guys want to like pay for some hotel space here?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
care what they say. Yes.
All right. So
I will pay for
Tabitha
it.
Emran jerks a thumb over at Janny at the front desk. If you guys wanted to go over to her and
Okay.
I will rent space for myself if nothing else.
Felix.
What up?
Yeah, you did do the talking.
Hello, I would like one hotel room for a bunch of people, please.
Not one for a bunch of people, but like, you know.
she's like, I'm not
hotel
sure
room
if
for
we
X many
have.
people, please.
So okay, we have a dual suite that we could offer you. Maybe that would have enough room.
I'm gonna help.
No, stop.
Charisma.
Cease.
What do you
Well,
say
I mean,
to her?
we have what, 6 people that need beds?
No.
In theory, I could just sleep on Lucky. I am a
1, 2,
cowboy.
3, Oh yeah, 6 people. 6 people. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stand by.
So
I'm gonna
yeah,
do what
how
I
much
usually
for
do: stand by Felix and look pretty. Like we need
How much for
6
6
beds.
rooms? 6
Uh,
beds
How much
worth of
can we get?
rooms.
Oh gosh. Well, right now we have 5 beds available, but we could maybe bring you down a mattress to this extra mattress to the suites. You just doing that in the camera? I see it. Yeah, you're just making doe eyes at her. She's like, yeah. So I would say that's normally 10 caps a person, but if you just want the 2 suites, that would only be 40 caps, and we can just throw in 2 extra mattresses, and maybe you can get cozy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll do.
All right. So she hands you.
Yeah, that'll do.
She hands you the keys to 1B and 2B, and they seem to be.
I want to be in not 2B.
I'm gonna go over 2B.
I feel it is appropriate that my character be in 2B
Okay.
for
2B
for
or not?
for referential reasons.
Yeah.
It's the question.
Does anybody get
Yeah.
the joke I'm trying to make right now? Okay,
Is it
cool.
about thick thighs? So.
It's about female robots, but sure.
Yeah, no, yes. So Marlo Emran comes by later, and he's dragging some mattresses behind him, and he throws them down on the floor, and he's like, "Here you go."
Is this 2A or 2B?
This the 2B is the one on the right, 2A is the one on the left, and you do have a joint bathroom. Oh, how palatial!
Wow, Pog.
I have to ask
Wow,
what
it's like
happened
a
in
dorm.
that one room.
Wait, so there's only 4 beds? What?
They say they bring you some mattresses, and then some people can
I'm
get
not
cozy.
in there.
There's room in the beds for more than one person to sleep.
Ooh.
Dibs.
Wait, so where?
Is there going to be a ghoul bed? Pat, no. Incorrect.
What ghoul action?
Up here.
Oh.
I guess. Like,
Hi. Whoops. Now I'm also incorrect. Okay, there we go. Okay.
can you
So
put
I'm in the other one.
Sapphire and Sydney stuff in here? Yeah, please. Wait.
Hi,
Gone
Sydney.
wild.
I've heard that you exist.
This is like, I will like looking at like Sydney and the 2 women in the room. Lisa is like, I will stay here and protect you through the evening.
Thank you.
She just like stares Sydney down. Like,
So I will. So
Make sure
yeah.
I move 2 women, and then Sydney gives you this look.
I will watch you. I will watch you as you sleep, Sydney, to make sure that nothing bad happens in this room during the night.
Wow, amazing.
Oh,
Lisa
I love
is
that.
guarding Sydney's virginity.
It's more the other way around. But it was intended to be more the other way around, but sure.
I mean, honestly, I like it the way that Lisa.
So
Lisa's just in there protecting Sydney from us scary women.
in the afternoon, Lisa, so Rainbow, do you know about the general conversion of scrap metal to your health, right?
It's 1 for every roll he gets to make, basically.
I'm gonna give him some rolls. That wasn't good. That was all right. That was blah.
Wait,
That
so
and is it
25
degree of success?
Yeah, it's degrees of success.
I'm gonna
HP.
say we're gonna all reckon with it later, and we'll assume that he has time to fix you and protect Ron all the way up.
Can I do?
Wait, I'm going to give. Oh,
Can I
sorry.
do a reduction in stress? I have one robot, right?
Yeah, and I will take off 2 of that, and we'll just make a note. Do
Well, it wasn't.
rolls.
It was the robot parts. I think are the same thing? Question mark. Reducing stress requires robot parts. Degrees of the success divided by 2.
Yeah, so 2 would assume 4 degrees of success.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, you guys get it all figured out. And Sapphire, you want to sleep in a bed with Sydney because their name also begins with S, or Felix because they're a spongy ghoul.
Sapphire, I thought was sleeping with me.
Okay,
Well,
Sapphire.
The females are sleeping in the same room, and
It
Sydney,
looks like Sapphire's just splayed out across the bed and the mattress.
Sydney is on the
Sa-
on the mattress that's on the floor in the same room as them. and they have a chaperone.
Oh, oh,
That's
oh, oh, oh,
what
Yeah.
oh, oh, okay. So Sydney's on the floor being chaperoned by the robot.
So I was proposing that I would I'm actually thinking that I'll give Sapphire a massage. And also Sydney as well.
All
But,
right.
you know,
And
one of them's probably more of a fun massage than a technical
Mm.
massage.
so wait, yeah, so have you healed either of them before? Within the week?
I did like
With the-
two. Oh, is it like once per week? Because I did do it earlier in the week.
But you didn't do every party member, and I'm wondering if Sydney or Sapphire is.
Which one seems like really emotionally scarred?
Sapphire.
Sapphire slightly
Yeah,
more than Sydney, but they're both pretty low.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
massage her.
All right.
seems
I think that
needing.
you heal like 5 psyche when you do that, right?
You're the one who wrote the rules. I don't know.
Just like
If I did some, I
he's like
really need
sitting
it.
on his side, like
Yeah.
trying to ignore like the two women like behind him, just like
Yeah.
one is fondling the other.
Massaging.
Yeah.
Just like looking at his like killer robot, just like giving him death.
All right, I'm gonna begin doing the healing. Felix, congrats, you're up to full HP and almost full psyche. Charlie, you are
83?
up a little as well. Sydney is looking better. And Sapphire is at full health, and you get 1 for Sleepy. And then Pat, you're still at 2. Is your res still 2? You're weak.
My throat hurts so much. Oh my god.
What am I weekend?
In general, you're weak. Your strength is an
Fair.
18. Yeah, your res is still 2.
Bad, right?
So you only heal back
My
2,
res is
and you get a +1 to that. Yeah, so you guys are all you are rested up, and you've paid your way in the night. Twombly, do you pace in the hallway at night, or
Twombly, go to sleep.
Twimbly sleeps underneath Lucky.
Yeah, imagine Twombly sleeping. I can't.
You probably sleep like leaning against Lucky or something.
I mean, Farm Boy, I have done that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, so like, lightning's to like, if you've got something freaking out the cows, right? Sometimes you just need to like chill there so that they can calm down, but you're present.
I heard people used to do that with cats back in the old days. I haven't seen a cat since though, so they're probably extinct. But it would be cute. I've heard they're so pretty.
There are cats in Fallout.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Cool.
regular cats.
Wow.
Yeah, some like carrot
Regular
brought
cat.
one into a vault and then they just survived.
I like to think that there was a vault of cats.
Pat? Someone is trying to
Just
check out the
power
tiles on
and
Drive-Thru
all
RPG, and none of the links
the-
work.
The
Hey,
problem
what?
was
Isn't
a
in there,
vault of
like-
I just
cats
added you in the
one
tweet.
It sounds like a catastrophe.
But yeah, so you guys rest up and heal up, and Twombly, did I take up your health and psyche?
I haven't touched them, so I don't know if you did or didn't.
All right, so you top off psychologically, and you get to almost full vitality. Yeah, with that. Oh, and lucky, of course. Yeah, with that, y'all are ready and raring to go the next day. You do hear a bit of a commotion in the morning as you awaken.
Elaborate.
You, it's the sound of like lots of people coming to town and like voices. You'll have to step outside if you want to know what's going on.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm staying out of sight.
All right.
Right now, my face is in one too many places.
Wait, what? What happened?
I'd like to roll to be sneaky.
I'm not gonna bother.
I have a doppelganger,
Wait,
so
what is happening? Wait, I totally zoned out for a second.
There's just people like the sounds of someone arriving in town.
Oh. I
Hmm.
see. I mean, I'll like step out like into the hall, but I'm as long as nobody's coming in, I'm chilling.
Yeah,
Just a bunch of wastelanders, so the Brahmin.
Yeah, they arrive. They like, begin to conduct business. They see your Brahmin and they see you and your robot, and they're like, "That's a mighty fine Protectron. Where'd you get him?"
Just found him in an old place downtown.
I Protectron.
America.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you're a scavenger of some sort?
Yeah, of some sort.
Let me know if you find anything useful for settling, like seeds or tools or whatnot.
Seeds, you say?
Yeah, we're
I'm
looking for
seed too.
Not that type of seed.
Oh,
Well, did
I'm
we
equally
grab-
told that.
Did we just see that big old bag of seed, or did we actually? I think we grabbed.
You,
Oh,
you,
grab
you,
it.
you, 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 yeah, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Greg, you explicitly took it, didn't you?
Yes, that is correct. Oh shit!
Well,
I'm muted.
I'll open
No,
up
no,
the
I'm not
pouch
muted.
on Lucky
You're not muted.
that has the big old bag of seed.
Yeah.
Like, seeds.
They're like, well, I do declare I would not mind some of that. We don't have much in the way of caps, but we will be happy to dicker with you.
Oh, well, I'm always a fan for some good dickering.
Indeed.
What's
So
dickering?
they're like, oh, it's also you can literally like
Dickering something adults do in private.
you could physically like move yourself
heard of
to
this.
where that is because right
Oh,
now,
this isn't
Mage,
back where
Mage,
I'm from.
Mage, you are in a bedroom, not outside talking to these people.
Rip.
So you can actually like physically move yourself outside.
I was doing the thing that you asked me to do. Okay,
I'm sorry, I know. I can move you.
please.
So yeah, you guys are here, and they show you a variety of goods they have available. I would say that none of them are too suspect, but so they have mostly they have produce, but they do have some electricals and some explosives and some steel. An interesting combination of those items. Charlie, by the way, would you say you've woken up and come outside, or are you hanging back?
I was sneaking in the window.
You-
Like mention of explosives, and they wanted to trade for seed. I'll stop skulking about, and I'll pop on out.
All right.
Let's see what kind of bang bangs you guys have.
They're like, yeah, so they, it seems like there's just some, frag grenade style composition B. Additionally, they seem to have some steel. Looks like it was maybe torn from some, like, thick steel, like, circular thing. Perhaps some broken down latches. But interestingly, there seems to be what would be used for, like, some sort of, like, a simple receiver foxhole radio.
Oh,
A rather interesting combination of resources, it strikes you.
where'd
these,
all this stuff come from?
They look around sheepishly and they're like, well, we're just new settlement settled down after, moving up from down south. We're not looking for any trouble, but we're looking to offload some goods. They're a little bit skittish. If someone wanted to loosen them up.
I'm like, hey, I'm a friendly face. We got eating out the rabble. We got your best interest at heart, you know what I'm saying?
Want me to hit him up with one of them social rolls?
Yeah.
Bam!
Give me a social
Oh, I
roll.
do a bad job.
Pat, do you want to swoop in on a
Yeah, I was
social?
gonna say, why
And
don't I do
Jade,
a social?
Sapphire is also good at social rolls. Sapphire,
I'm good
would you want to
today.
you want to swoop in here as people are trying to convince these wastelanders to be a little more talkative? All right. So what does Sapphire say to them to convince them to loosen up?
Yes, I want to hear this.
We're not
What
judging.
does-
We're just a little bit curious. We got
We're all friends.
our
here.
own goals. There's no need in holding y'all up.
I just imagine like 7 feet behind them as they're doing this. I'm just sharpening my combat knife.
Yeah. So you guys, Sapphire finally convinces them to open up, and they're like, well, maybe this is. And by the way, the bar is fairly open as people are like about their jobs at this point. And they look inside and they're like, well, seeing as there's no judgment here and we're all friends. How's about we share a drink inside and maybe we could talk about our situation?
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
great
well,
ideas
oh,
as
no.
to how to start colonization. By the way, did I mention I'm a botanist?
They're like, "You're a what now?" I don't do
I
anything
study
in the back
plants.
door.
Do
Oh.
what to robots?
Yeah, I make plants grow,
So-
like the flower
No
thing.
Robo.
So
The
Marge
plant.
stays outside, and Zed, uh, Zed and Jasper come indoors with you,
Those are very trustable names.
and they come up to this in here, come and have a drink, and they're like, yeah, let's all have a drink, and we can talk about our situation.
I did not mean to grab everybody just now, but holy shit, I did.
Yeah, protect Ron's like I'm protecting Ron. And they're talkative, and at length after a drink they're like, so let's just say that we had some disagreements about matters of emancipation. As you may be aware, Benton City, in spite of the recent victory, people down there sort of bend the knee to Horse Heaven, and we didn't take too kindly to that, and we kind of vamoosed with some individuals who were not meant to be vamoosed with. We had the collars, and we figured, we might as well break them down and sell the parts. I thought it might be a little suspicious, but we need the caps, honestly.
Well, that is admirable. I commend you in escaping those terrible people.
Yeah, we're just trying to make
One
a
of
go
my
of it.
friends
Make an honest
ended
go of
up
it here
on
in the
one.
Tri-City area. My grandpappy used to say people used to live up here before the floods. All over the city, not just on Crow's Nest Island.
Oh, no kidding. I've
Yeah.
heard about the floods.
Yeah. Things a little waterlogged getting over here, but, other than that, pretty good, pretty good. So, yeah, we've shown our hand. Now, Mr. Ghoul and Vault Lady, would you mind showing yours?
Here's my hands. Can I
We're
info
just,
dump about botany on them?
Group of travelers poking around looking for interesting salvage in this region. Out of the region. New
Right.
town, sort of so.
So, Pat, what did you say?
I want to info dump about botany.
All right, you just want to tell them about botany. You share knowledge of botany. It sort of goes over their heads. But they're like, wow, you know a whole lot about plants. Would you mind coming by and helping us with our plantain?
Doesn't involve prolonged periods of time away from this group that I'm with.
Well, I mean...
Just no, if so.
No, I mean, if we could get some advice, that would be mighty appreciated.
Oh, I can give advice. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we're really just throwing down. We got a new settlement. Yeah.
No kidding.
We found a source of fresh water in the city.
A source of fresh water?
Somewhat fresh water, anyway. We cook it as best we can.
Interesting. Well, I'd love to see that and help you establish it. And decide, I'm just like, we're still looking for that filter thing, right? We're still looking for a filter for water?
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
Zed and Jasper are very excited to have a botanist join them. And they are, generally speaking, believing that you are, in fact, just salvagers. Although they would invite you to, if you're looking for a place to throw down roots, they're starting up a pretty cool town.
Oh. What do they call it? Does this town have a name?
Cool town.
Well, we're sort of debating. But right now, I'm thinking we call it Gorge City. And Jasper's like, I don't think advertising it's a gorge and saying it's a city is a good idea. Listen, it's evocative. Anyone else around who lives in a gorge? Or is in a city? I mean, some people, true. But Zed looks at you as if to say, come on, it's a cool name, right?
Sounds interesting. I've heard of gorges before. I hear there's really big one down to the south called Arizona.
Jasper says, come on, we already settled this. It's new abolition.
New abolition.
Yeah.
I like it. It's evocative of abolition, which is a good thing. I'm super here for abolition and capitalism, two things that go hand in hand.
That was like, well, I don't know anything about them about capitalists, but I do need. We could use some money.
Caps are the things we spend, right?
Yeah.
Capitalism makes
Oh,
sense.
is that as a capitalist like someone who's really good at finding caps?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I guess
That's
that makes
what I've
sense.
known.
Makes sense to me.
That's why they call them bottle caps.
Just shaking my head at the bar, like, kill me now.
The evil laughter is out of character. I feel the need to state that explicitly. Anyway. Yeah, no.
Oh, they mean none of the links on the drive-through RPG are working. Damn it.
The
I mean,
link-
when I opened it works fine. I don't know.
Like the
if
links,
if
the links
they
on
purchase
the.
it, literally, I will.
That's not what I'm. That's not what we're talking about.
We can talk later.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll handle this on the break.
Let
Anyway,
them know that I value their interest. And
the point is, these settlers have a ticky talk with you, and they are fairly interested in having you swing by if for nothing other than the botanical knowledge, and they are willing to trade you all of the composition B that they have in their possession in exchange for your seed bag.
Composition B.
It is an explosive compound, normally found in frag grenades. Indeed, someone like
Yeah,
Sydney
sounds
could
good to
make
me.
frag grenades out of it if they could also make a case.
Oh, I see how they got that. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Our seed for your explosives. It's a deal. You should build a tower for me. Because that was artistic.
Indeed.
I'm not funny.
So,
Don't
yeah.
come for me for jokes, kids.
Does the party do anything in particular before heading out? And do you head out, like, how do you head out? Do you guys just gonna head out, like, now, heading for your destination? Do you buy anything before you leave? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
I mean, I don't particularly. I mean, I would check the shop, see if there's anything that's like, wow, that. But like, I don't see any.
They
basic
wouldn't happen to
supplies
have
I
a
need.
rat away, would they?
Is there like a local shop?
So, like, there's the trash man, there is Kit and Caboodle, and generally speaking, the bartender can direct you to various merchandise that she has.
I'm good though.
Some of it is under lockup with the Coast Guard, but yeah, you could ask
sounds
about.
like the shopping we want to do between sessions is the thing we want to do in session, from the sounds of it.
Well, let's say we declare what we're gonna buy right now. And we work out the prices and stuff between
Yes.
sessions.
If rat away, then purchase.
So
Can
they do have 4 units of Radaway
Well, we
available
have
at
a break
list
coming
price. We do. Yeah, but we're spending that handling something with the drive-through. So yeah, point is 4 units of Radaway available at list price.
What is list price again, and can we afford it? And is that even remotely
Important links has followed other items.
I'll take a look.
List price for a dose of Radaway is 500 caps. We literally cannot afford 4 bags of Radaway.
You don't even have 2. I thought you had 2K in the bank.
Let me check actually.
Or I guess you
We
guys
have
bought.
exactly 2K in the bank. So
Oh,
we
would
could
you look at that?
afford all of them, but do we want to spend all of our money on Radaway?
Yes. I'm not the
No.
person to discuss money matters with, though.
All right,
I think we
so
should probably go for 2 bags.
all right, so you do buy. And to clarify, does nobody have any Radaway?
Not be at max.
I have Radex. I don't have
Oh, yeah, we need
Radaway.
stim packs, definitely.
All right. Well,
Oh, yeah,
regardless,
same
we are going to figure this out after the break, and
I
we have 10
really
minutes.
need a drink. I can like barely talk.
I really need to pee. I haven't peed since like, pee o'clock earlier.
I don't know if it's just a habit thing, but I'm really starting to regret the choice to like not get drunk today. I don't know if it's alcoholism or
An alcoholic, so I can't speak as to that. But I enjoy drinking. But I encourage you to do what you must do for your own personal self and well-being, especially considering we're all isolated in our own rooms for the next foreseeable future. So, now is a terrible time to develop alcoholism if you don't already have it.
oh, I have. And I don't know. I was listening to some kind of like positivity podcast, and the one dude said something that stuck with me. He said, well, just don't get drunk every day. And I'm like, okay,
Yo, that's
right.
fucking
That's
preach.
That's what
If I was-
Tuesdays are for.
Exactly. Except I get.
So I was like, I just
those
won't
days.
get drunk today, and I won't be drunk every day this week. But now, like,
Oh
I
my
should have gotten
god.
drunk every day.
Greg, I support you.
Okay,
support
I'm
you.
getting a
Do
drink.
not need alcohol. You are a strong, independent woman. You don't need no fucking booze, okay? I'm so here for your independence from substance.
I'm sorry, did you just assume their gender?
I just
I
hate
always
that stores close at Pennsylvania hours out here. It's fucking-
Ooh.
like the
Oh,
choice shouldn't
fuck,
be
you're-
made up for me.
Ooh, honey.
Because like I would totally run out, but like the choice has been made for me at 9:30.
Are alcohols considered like emergency?
They better goddamn well be.
Fucking right. Like, I don't know if I can make it a whole fucking X months of coronavirus bunkering down to
For some reason,
not.
I got it in my head
Worst-
like I think this is gonna be like 6 months. I don't know why, but that's just like
This
The
shit gonna
current
take as
worst
long as it takes to give birth to a motherfucking vaccine, and that shit takes more than 9 months.
the current worst projection. That's like now it could
2
potentially
years.
get worse. It could potentially get better. 18 months.
Yeah, yeah. It takes 2 years to make a vaccine, so I'm thinking
Oh
it's
no
gonna
no
be
no
2
no no
years.
no! I'm not talking about the vaccine. I'm talking about their projection for the coronavirus epidemic. they're-
I don't
they're-
care about that. I care about when they make
They're
the
projecting.
vaccine.
They're projecting 18 months right now before like it's taken care of.
Well, for the time being,
and
I'm
see,
staying inside.
the scarier thing isn't really even getting sick or the virus. It's like,
It's the reaction of the people.
yeah, it's the bouncing back from.
I'm
as
worried
someone who
about
potentially has
humans
it-
more than I am about a virus that my body can totally handle because I eat right and I'm not immunocompromised or ancient.
As someone who potentially has it, I'm more concerned about the virus.
Mm.
I mean, I'm a germaphobe. I hate infections. Actually, one of my phobias. I'm still less worried about the virus than I am about human response because people.
Oh, see, whereas
Oh,
I am
yeah.
sick and have like
Virus
8 of the
is
9
neutral.
symptoms.
Yeah,
So.
neutral.
No.
That's gotta be scary. Like, for me, I've always been worried about the fall off from the people, just because like my day job is working with cleaning chemicals. So yeah, I might come in contact with like shit that's infected, but I mean I'll be spraying it down with cleaning chemicals and fucking scrubbing it, so I'm not too tripping. Not really tripping. Then the second part is security, which is where I'm by myself. I mean, I might come in contact with a patron or somebody, but
Love to
that's
meet
usually
you.
at like
Okay,
30
yeah,
feet.
keep going. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what part of my job is? I work in an escape room, which is
An
essentially
escape
a
room.
box people go into and touch stuff for an hour.
Yeah, fuck.
Monday was the last day I worked, and
Yeah.
on Monday, it was the busiest Monday I can ever recall.
Why?
Because people were stupid.
Jesus.
Because at the start of it, I was like, okay, we're probably going to see a downturn in bookings. And we had quite a few people call in to cancel games, so that all made sense. But then we had a ton of people book last minute and walk in. And I think it's because everyone is not working and their kids are not at school. So they're like, let's go do something. And so they go do the worst possible activity to do during a pandemic.
Yeah, this. I was supposed to go on a date on Wednesday.
You're thinking
or
of an
Tuesday.
orgy.
Yeah, I was supposed to go on a date on
No, an
Wednesday.
orgy's, I'd say an orgy's more
And-
fun. The extra fun of an orgy balances out the extra danger. An escape room is
Well-
fun, but it's not fun enough to justify itself.
They were talking about trying to go bowling and shit. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to. I don't think this is the time to start handling strange balls and holes. Like, I'm good on that. Putting on different
To be
people's
honest, a
shoes
lot of
and
those
shit.
have like self-cleaning though.
I don't give a fuck. I still gotta wear some shoes that some of the motherfucker wore behind me, and I know all they do to clean it is spray it down. Like, I'm good on that.
There's not a whole lot of activities I would recommend going out to do during this. And bowling and escape rooms are definitely not on that list.
See, the thing about this,
Merc made a cure for Ebola.
you need to already have had a COVID cutie before this went down. You can't like try to start something new while this is going on. I'm sorry, because like she doesn't really want to come kicking to my crib, obvious reasons. Like she don't really know me. She doesn't want to just come to a stranger's house, where she potentially might not be able to leave because it's a fucking quarantine. I also don't want to go to her place, so it's like it just sucks with isolation.
COVID love.
Yeah,
go to,
no, my
yeah,
girlfriend
the
and I have like
coronavirus.
been together for like 2 weeks now, and it's just like we
See,
can't
that's
see each other feasibly for an X number of weeks too. So it's
like,
crazy.
what can you? But I mean, I feel like 2 weeks is not a bad time to like. I mean,
No,
depending on how much
we
you like,
really-
like you could cabin fever it up with them at 2 weeks, but
I mean, I'd love to cabin fever it up with her. Oof.
who's gonna be the first to suggest something like that? That's the thing. That's what makes it fucking confusing and tough. Fucking virus.
Yeah, no, she's got a place and so do I. So it's like, you know, it's not gonna
You've
happen.
got a place, and so do I.
Although I would say that her job is not going on right now, as far as I'm aware. So I could perhaps propose it. I work in town, like the town that I live in. I walk to work. It takes me like 5 minutes to get there. So it's really convenient. And also I work at a pharmacy, so my job's not gonna close for the
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
be
are
going
helpless.
out and in and out and in. So I don't want to bring things back to infect her. You know, it's bad enough that I'm potentially infecting my sister and my mother because I live with them. But
Yeah, she works at a Costco, so it's like she's fucking dealing with people too.
ooh, yeah, no,
You ain't
we're
going
fucking
nowhere.
emergency workers. We are
Yeah.
fucking pharmacy, Costco, grocery store employees. Like,
I'm so glad I don't work for that grocery store around here
Us
no more. I'd be
peeps.
mad as fuck.
true. You probably don't even get like. We don't get fucking pay raises because we're out there working day in day out during the fucking pandemic. We don't get pay raises. We're just, you know,
No
we're getting
precedent for
the
that. We
same
gotta, like,
basic
You
minimum
might,
wage.
though.
shit.
They gotta
Even
use-
my
right,
place
that's
was
where you
like,
probably
hey.
could, 'cause, I mean, there's no precedent for it
We
right
are
now.
risking our fucking lives to serve the people.
Even my place was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
hey,
Hear
if you
me
want
out.
to
You might get
opt out of
pay
working
raises as a
during this,
result
you
of this.
can. No strings attached.
Sorry?
My work offered an opt out during the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
They were just
See,
like,
that's
hey, if anyone
appreciated.
doesn't want to come in during this, they don't have to, and we'll schedule around the people who do want to work.
I
See,
mean,
that's
hey,
what I wish I
I'd
would
probably
have.
opt in.
I would still, like I said, I don't give a fuck. I mean, but they don't need a security guard, and they wouldn't want to keep, you know.
As far as I'm aware, my job can't afford to opt out or an opt in, opt out thing.
Yeah.
You might very well get a pay raise as a result of this, though.
I work for a mom and pop. I don't think I'm getting a pay raise. Unless they
Here's
all
what
get a
you
pay
do.
raise.
Stab them.
You know, I feel like they fire me.
But here's
what
the
you
great
do.
thing now. Now that I've said
Tease
that,
on
if
them.
they get stabbed, people are gonna see this stream and think you did it.
No one.
So for legal reasons, that was
Pretty
a joke.
decent.
I mean, she
people.
has admitted that she is both a terrible person and a monster.
But I'm out of it! And I have a weapon! Ah! Somebody stop me before I do something rash.
Okay, speaking of
See,
something,
now
rash,
she's just
I will
building
be
her
right back.
insanity self-defense.
Don't stop me.
Can't blame me for
But yeah,
trying.
Cop, do it.
if her employers get stabbed, folks out there on the internet, you know who did it.
I blame 12-sided guy. He's the one proposing this madness.
Yes, the Canadian in the country above you on the opposite
Yes,
coast.
the Canadian. It's the fucking foreigners that did
Yeah,
it. I might get some mileage too. My boss has voted for Trump.
it's okay. I didn't.
Man. They might not be pals with the dirty foreigners, such as you Canadians.
I mean, to be fair, we're just your little brothers. Because we were both British.
Right, but you know, we actually fought for our independence.
We asked
With
nicely and got it, thank you. Because we're the nice kid.
My ancestors didn't storm Britain with swords for you to say that we're the same people, okay? My ancestors murdered British people with swords in England.
My ancestors didn't move here in the 1800s to avoid taxes.
My ancestors didn't flee Nazis to come to the United States of America to be told by Canadians that we're relatives, okay?
I mean, my ancestors are Irish, Scottish, and Russian, so...
I'm like
the first generation on one side of the family and the second on the other.
Except for like a tiny bit Native American and also a little bit English. On the same side.
Hello, I am back.
Probably bad things happen.
My mother got her blood test done by like 23andMe, and the sheet just came out white. That's how white we are. Well, because her family is like as Irish and Scottish, like respectively, right? Because her parents are Irish and Scottish, right? And then looking back at their tree, it's like generations of just Irish and Scottish. So this is as white as you get. And then my dad's Russian. So.
I'm mostly German, which explains the whole trans thing.
Because Hitler was a woman.
I do hear that is a very popular form of music over there, yes.
Exactly. They also call it electric in places. And disco in others.
Was a discotheque, yeah.
A very popular form of music from the 80s. Some of you may not have heard of it.
Are you even around for the 80s?
I like the 80s.
But were you around for the 80s?
The answer is no. See how much fun.
Were any of you around? Greg was probably around for the 80s.
What? Greg's like my age.
Is he? I don't know.
Actually, I have no fucking... Greg, how old are you?
Yeah.
I think you're my age, but I have no metric for determining this. I just feel like you're my age because I feel like I'm similar to you in some respects.
That's right. I'm the oldest one here.
It's gonna be really funny if Greg is like AFK right now because he is muted. Like it's possible he's heard none of this.
Greg's probably AFK.
He's AFK.
Greg.
All right, now do we have anything that we want to? Do y'all got anything you want to settle before you head out of town in terms of purchases and whatnot?
Lee.
And deployments of Radaway.
Figure out the drive-through thing.
So it's a weird thing in terms of the links.
So is it drive-through itself, or?
It works fine. It's just that all of the links that are on our drive-through RPG page, like out to like our Twitter accounts and shit, don't work. The only reason you could find me is that I explicitly type out quad core. So I'm assuming that they just went to Twitter and
I typed apocalyptic Americana tile set, and Google actually gave it to me.
Again, not what they're talking about. They're talking about outlinks.
It's not about getting to the drive-through, Pat. It's about getting to like your Twitter or something from the drive-through.
And they were asking for like so.
Yeah, it's not working for me either.
There are examples. There are examples if you click around on it.
Weird. No, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, we'll just have to. I'll have to go in depth on what they allow linkings on.
We shall pray for a speedy recovery.
All right, so
our link.
yeah, Max purchases. We're back.
Purchases. I mean, party funds, grabbing 2 right away. And I think that's it for party funds. I might grab a stim pack with my own money for my own use.
How much are the stim packs?
175.
That's more cash than I have. I think I have like 70.
Maybe. Let me double check here. A little more than I have.
It's quite more than I have.
I mean, I don't think we like badly
What-
need
what
everyone to
about
have a stim
Xanadu
pack. I'm just
rock
grabbing one
flower?
because there's been 1 or 2 situations where it's been handy for me to have one.
Yeah, and I used my last. Well, did I use my last one? Oh, I
Actually,
used
It would
one
be
of.
it would be
I-
very nice if we could get one on everybody, but I don't think we have the money. How much is it? Sorry, I didn't hear.
They're 175 each, but we just spent literally
Yeah,
half the party
yeah,
funds
okay.
on 2 doses of Radaway, so party funds are shut down for this purchase.
Whack.
I see. How much rads does Radaway get?
And Pat,
They remove 1 rad.
Pat,
And no pins.
you used one of your 2 stim packs, right?
I started with 2 or 3.
I don't know, but I mean, I'm seeing 2 in the character sheet, and I don't remember editing the character sheet since. But you used a stim pack in like a recent battle, right?
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2.
No,
episodes
I
ago.
used Twombly's, but I don't think.
Yeah, I'm out. That was my last one.
But Pat, did you
I don't
deploy?
I used 1.
Okay,
I used 1
So you're
myself.
you're down to 1. I think you started with like 3, and I think that you're down to 1.
I thought I started with 3, but only used 1. But
Oh, never mind. All right,
fine.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we'll put it at X2, and we'll figure it out if it's different later.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't want to misinterpret the stats either.
I would say, have you?
I thought it was like super important when I finally used it just recently.
Yeah. So I mean, you could have been holding on to them this whole time. But
Was.
all right. So I looked at it and I saw the X2. Did you edit it down to that? Because I know that we haven't really been.
I do occasionally make edits to my character, but I am very much drunk most of the time, and I don't always remember what I do.
Jesus Christ.
Xanderroot and rock flower.
I have a drinking problem, okay? Which is why I'm
No,
encouraging
I'm
flesh
Right.
asking if I
Alright.
can get some Xanderroot or rock flower.
Yeah.
I
So I would say that
Everything's about you, Pat.
they have it available. So you mean I'm assuming you want to craft like healing powder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a cooking roll.
Oh, hey, give me the ingredients. I'll do a thing.
And they do have it. It's going to cost you whatever the list price is
Wow.
for those things, unless they don't have a list price.
That is a good roll.
I've
Definitely
got
give me
some
the-
Beautiful, Christ.
Blanco mac and cheese and some meat to throw in on that.
Oh yeah. So do you guys like eat now, or do you you gonna have
hey,
breakfast?
I cooked the thing.
All right. So you cook up some Blamco mac and cheese.
And I also helped Twombly with his. My character would say her, but I helped him with his thing.
It would cost me 10 cats for that. Does
Okay. Here's what happens. You all eat this meal. It gives you with like what you incorporate. So what do you put in this meal? There's Blamco mac and cheese,
There's meat chunks,
meat chunks. What kind of meat?
canned meat that we found.
Meat?
Across the river. remember?
Yeah.
No, that's
All
Like
right.
spam, just fry it up first.
All
Actually,
right.
why the fuck are we
Raz-
cooking? We're in town. We could
Raz-
buy
Raz-
food.
But I rolled really well in the cooking roll, so we're cooking. Okay,
Alright.
so
Yeah.
This
so-
does seem like a waste
Yeah,
of
we need one
resources,
more
though.
thing.
To
You-
be
you-
One
honest.
more thing.
One more thing.
Fine.
What else goes in? What else goes in?
do we have anything else to go in?
rock flower. We could use it as like sage, basil.
Like a garnish.
I mean, yeah. Do we have access to that?
Yeah, I'll spend another, I think, like 3 cats.
All right.
Some more.
With that, this meal grants you a damn good time, and you all heal 3 psyche, or up to max.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna have a little bit of a Luca Buzz and finish that stogie after that. After that meal.
Oh, yeah, you finish smoking off a cigar, and yeah, while you're outside
How many
smoking,
cigars are in that case, by the way?
I'm gonna say it was a 6 cigar case.
Alright.
So 5 remain, and you tobacco isn't very addictive, so I don't think you test right now. So yeah, you guys are anything else in town, and do you use your Radaway? I would point out, Radaway flushes all pips and reduces a point. So if Twombly was going to take a Radaway, now would probably get him the most utility.
Yeah.
Friendly.
Yeah, so 2 rataways, use them as you see fit. I don't really need one because I have 3 points even, I believe.
I'll only take the one.
Which
I
isn't that
only
bad
use
because I have
use
6
that.
resistance to rats.
All right, so Twimble, you take 1.
Yeah.
All right. After the bag is intravenously plugged into your arm for a bit, you feel a little funny, and then you really have to go to the bathroom.
Makes sense.
I'll
I
find
will.
a tree.
I will
You
heroically-
find a tree. Would you like to find? Show me on the map which tree you pee on. There is a
If I can
stump.
find
There's a stump on the map to the far east in the parking lot. There was
I
also a
suppose I'll
toilet
go
in the
away
suite.
and Find a bathroom.
There's a toilet. Yeah. So you head back to the suites.
Very uncowboy like though.
And with an all of your rad pips are swept away, and you go down 1 rad point, which should increase your maximum vitality, right, by 1, because you aren't having it reduced anymore.
Yes.
All right, and yeah. So, and you guys have just 1 rad away, I guess, as a party resource. Does anybody else feel the pressing need to use that?
As much as I would like to, I'm going to heroically abstain for now.
You've
Let
taken a point. You're fine. Shut up.
But it hurts.
I will say the other party member who is actually down her max right now is Sapphire.
That is a good point.
What about
I feel like
Sapphire?
Sapphire like never gets hit though. I don't
Yeah,
know.
wait, no. So Jade, yes, what were you saying, Jade?
You said Sapphire.
Yeah, so right now your max HP is down by 1 because of your rads, and the party has 1 more rad away that you could potentially use if you wanted to.
I mean, if they're willing to give it to me.
Yeah.
It is a communal resource.
All right. With that, 7 pips and 1 of your points get flushed away after you take a quick pee.
As much fun as it would have been to see the mutation roll, I feel like this is the more prudent way to deal with things.
Yeah, so you're down to
I'm about to go swim in the river.
All right,
No!
so
That's how you end up with a Minotaur in Fallout, because I mutate into a cow person, literally.
Oh my god.
This
Actual
just
cowboy.
sounds fun to me.
all right. So my point is, Max, for like the umpteenth billion time, anything else you do before you leave town?
Nope. I think we're good to go.
All right, cool. Moving.
Jay's just like,
All right. So you are in the Eastern Tri-Cities. IH Regional is on the horizon. Did I not
Indeed.
bring...
wait, can you ping it again? I'm not seeing it.
So I see,
What is
based on this
this?
map, 2 ways to get there. We either like follow the big roads. Oh, I should use this. Like along here, and then over down this way and through here on that bigger road, or we beeline it through the buildings. This way is probably faster, but it's also probably more obvious.
Oh, that's
While the other way will be
Go like-
slower, but not necessarily safer, but definitely less obvious.
Oh, I see. Well,
Like if I
you
was going to
know-
set up an ambush point, I would set it up on the big roads. But if I
Yeah.
was going to set up a base, I would set it up in the boonies.
Yeah, you also did notice that your encounter with the Roachman did occur at a major junction in the road.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thinking avoid major junctions. That's just me.
What if we
I'm with Max
what if we
on
like
this one.
followed closely by the major junctions but didn't actually go on them?
Well, what
That's
point would that
also a
serve?
decent option. No, I
Why?
see what she's saying.
I
So that we don't get like lost. Like the whole point is that
We
like
have a map. We have a GPS pit boy. Like we're not going
It
to
is
get lost
true.
that way.
You do have a Pip Gal.
All
But,
that's
alright.
doing is making the journey take longer and
So
putting us
consider-
closer to the danger. People ambush from next to the road, not on the road.
Right, but we would get
Alright,
a
that's
jump
fine.
up on any danger that there is, because we would like pop up into their shit, and they would not be.
Yeah, but why don't we just
Max,
avoid?
then. I'm with Max.
Sure.
Alternatively, we could construct a hot air balloon.
That would get shot down.
All right, so you guys want
Maybe.
to, you guys,
Both well, actually.
you guys want to head out into the city, and you are heading through the streets.
I'm gonna say my character has a fear of heights, also.
All right, so you get going, and
Oh, no.
Jade produces a cloud, and River Shore, the river.
I could produce a cloud, but I've got mine in the house.
I don't have. I don't.
And yeah,
It's okay.
you come upon a fairly submerged part of town as you approach the railroad
bummer.
crossing. This is where I check if I've actually got the line of sight
Huh.
blocking working.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that is a fucking map. Oof, lovely.
Yeah, that is really
Holy.
Yeah, you see, yeah. So there's a bit of a dilapidated, what used to be a red rocket to your west, and some other buildings that have, not done so well under the flooding and centuries of apocalypse. To your south, there's a somewhat firm structure that's only half collapsed, and there seems to be some sandbags and other stuff set up around it, and there's blood, suggesting conflict, perhaps? But you don't immediately see any individuals or dangers.
Oh.
Blood?
Blood usually means people dying.
Yeah,
or
it does.
being surgery upon. Either way, sounds like people to me.
Does sound like people.
Which is dangerous? Question mark in the apocalypse statement. Might as well go say hi to them.
Wait, I don't see the people. What do you mean?
There's definitely something going on over here.
Oh, it like looks like a base. I feel you. I thought you
Looks
meant we
like-
like actually saw people. I was like, wait, huh? Where?
I'm like, no, but putting on a cheery face can't hurt. If we're getting this close to the building and they're not watching us already, then they're probably not harmful. And if they are watching us, then they might not have ill intent necessarily because they haven't fired upon us yet. I think the fact that we got this close to whatever settlement there may be is a good indicator that they're not inherently aggressive.
Or they're just smart enough to wait until they have a better shot.
Fair.
Okay, well, I mean, we're just not
I
gonna
mean, have
fucking
you seen
stand
my
here.
shot?
Why did Protectron move like that? No, Protectron, stay where you are.
Because whenever I copy paste him, there's just a chance that he'll get broken and I have to redeploy him.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Like that version of Protectron didn't have an HP bar for some reason.
Oh, whack. I didn't even notice.
So, there is a bridge of some sort, kind of thing.
And there's a tree. It's
Yeah,
knocked
why
over in
would
the
we just-
mud.
Well, how sturdy is the tree?
Fairly firm, petrified wood.
Can I cross it with little to no issue?
Yes, you can travel across the log.
I'm gonna
Who
be
are
on
the-
this side of the bank.
You're at the other side.
Yeah. Is there anything sneaky I can do? I feel like being sneaky is
I
maybe
mean,
not a bad
okay.
thing.
Can all of my friends with guns please point their guns at the door, and then I will walk up and announce my presence.
So Pat, you can try and sneak around. You get like a degree of success.
Awesome. That's as much as I expected, if not more.
All right.
I will also.
That's probably more than that if you could figure out the degrees of success.
Sure
Yeah,
thing.
so Twombly's posting up with Lucky inside this building. Sapphire, where you? She's AFK. Sydney is not here with us, so we'll just post him up behind Lucky. Yeah, so Charlie, you're sneaking around.
50 is the magic number.
50.
50.
Yeah, for agility blending, I would assume, right?
Yeah, so you have 3 degrees of success. And so Felix, you're standing behind Protectron, and Lisa, you want to walk up.
Like, I would, yeah. Like, I'm gonna get like about this close probably,
Mhm.
and then just like make myself known. Like,
I'll be like kind of here, maybe. I'm
So-
assuming there actually might be like a mound or something that I can kind of crouch behind over here.
Like what? Like the railroad?
there isn't.
Railroads usually are not exactly level with the
Right.
terrain.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know what you're saying. That like rail mound would constitute meager terrain, which doesn't give you a bonus unless you change stance.
I mean, I'm assuming I'm kind of crouching because I have actually a degree of stealth.
All right,
Meaning maybe
then
I'll be like right here
put a-
or
put a-
here,
put a-
depending
put
on
a-
where the mound is.
Yeah, north of it. Put a boot on yourself. And yeah. So Lisa, what do
I
you?
can't
Prone?
from there, so
Can
I
I
have to
do
move
that?
myself a little bit.
He says like,
Yeah.
please identify.
Could I be like right here and go prone?
We are not
Mhm.
hostile.
All right. So a moment passes. You hear nothing.
I will
Appropriate
begin to
that-
approach.
My baby loves the Western movies because just you hear a wow, bum, 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 tumbleweed blows by. You begin to approach. You see that there is an ammo box.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that close. And once again, be like, please do not shoot. And I get that close.
No response.
I attempt to open the door.
You find that
Or
it
I
is.
just-
Can
Alright.
I open it from like
Yeah,
beside?
so Sapphire, there is stuff going on. People are hiding because there's like a building, and Lisa's poaching because it looks kind of like an abandoned base. There is a lock. There's like a padlock on a chain around the outside of the door.
Locked from the outside? Huh.
What do you want to do about that?
Yeet it open.
Well, ooh, locked
What
from
is-
the outside screams, don't open that to me.
Yeah. What's this over here? Could you check that out, Lisa? Is that a window?
Wait, I'm
Also
gonna like
apparent-
open the door. Like I'm
Is this
opening
a
this
tr-
door.
Is this a
Okay,
train
so
that
what
I'm
do you-
behind right
It's
here?
been
Yeah,
locked.
that's a
Maybe you wanna
train.
Look inside there first.
Okay, I'm behind the train.
All right, so Lisa, you open the door. There's a chain. Like, how do you deal with like the chain and stuff?
Ooh.
It's like chained close.
Yes.
From the
Okay,
outside,
well,
Lisa.
then I will attempt to go this way, I suppose.
You come
You want to
around.
grab the box?
But I'm not being covered here. Let me just open this up really quickly. Might as well.
All right, how do you open it up?
No, the little box over here.
Oh, okay. So you rifle around through the ammo box. It's empty.
Empty. Okay. Let me just like hammer down on this lock. Like,
All right, you roll me an attack.
sure.
I feel like walking around this box.
Ooh, regrettable. You take a strain.
Big heck.
Damn.
I mean, it's an immobile lock. Do I at least break it? Like,
Regrettably, the servos in your arm are acting up.
okay, I guess I roll again.
Round.
I'm sorry. What?
Are you serious? What?
There's a sparking in your right shoulder.
Are you fucking serious
What
right
is
now?
happening right now?
So actually, that doesn't cause you stress.
Okay.
That just damages your weapon.
What
Okay.
the fuck?
So just out of curiosity, how much?
Hello?
What's the condition on that weapon you're using right now?
What
It was
is
like
happening?
5 or something, so I'm fine. But...
All right, so you took
No,
one.
it's
That's
seven-
the thing,
seven-
though,
it's
that's
7
the heat was over in
conditions,
there,
so
locked
it's-
it.
All right, so you take one of those stress just to yourself, and then you take the next 2 to the weapon. So it's if it was 7, it's now 5.
What the fuck? Okay.
Literally trying to open a door here.
Yeah, so you just,
And
so Lisa just
breaking her shit.
Lisa's just trying to bang, like she's not actually hitting the chain. She's just like banging dents into the door on either
I'm
side.
just like,
Do I just break the door
Lisa,
down?
just walk around.
Nope, you kind of maybe dented the metal, but you haven't broken it down.
I guess I swing again. Wow. Okay. Fuck you too, Jesus. Or Iron Jesus.
You absolutely, with a single clatter, you take the chain and the lock off.
Cool, dude.
Ah.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. Alright.
Mm.
All right. The door
Push open the door.
opens up. You find something two curious things. One, you realize that there was a mechanism for locking the door from the inside, but it's unlocked right now. And two, there are some mattresses in here.
Let's see.
You've let out the mutant bed bugs. Oh no.
And there's like no one in here?
Yeah. You do, however, see there is an SEI store to your south.
What is that?
You see, based on some lettering in the store, that it is Sports Equipment Incorporated.
I'm gonna move a little forwardly.
Okay.
I'll give like a signal to people that they can move up.
Alright, I'll get up and start going over.
I'm continuing.
Through the rubble.
Yeah.
There's no people here?
No, but you do see there is a radio set up and some blood. You see sandbags, and the broken glass seems to have been piled in certain locations that has some blood stains around them.
I mean, can we just do a little like quick once over and then keep moving, like of the area, like?
Oh,
Okay.
it's like a radio
I feel really sad that Rainbow wasted all that fucking weapons.
Well, now it's not even the weapon condition. I probably can't get to doublings off at this point, which is unlucky.
What's in these boxes here?
I'd have to roll a 1 on the next one.
In that, yeah. So here's what you find in. I'll divide them by SCI. Tile floor.
I see a terminal over here.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like those.
But we haven't crossed the street yet.
Yeah, you haven't crossed the
wait,
street.
what?
If you could keep yourselves to this building for the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I mean,
Not
can I check these
there.
like lock boxes and stuff on the wall here? And
Yeah, you guys go over everything.
cash register. Yeah, and just kind of just kind of go through the whole building.
Mm.
Just see what's up in here.
Oh, hey, there's one of those mailboxy things. Whatever they're called. The mail depositorinas.
Yeah. So yeah, in the SCI, you find 22 rounds, a poor condition varmint rifle, a pair of skis, 30 feet of climbing rope, and $50 in pre-war money. In the tile floor area, you find 2 agripot bases, a farming hoe, 20 caps, an iguana on a stick.
Nobody eat that.
Eat that.
No, that's people.
I'm gonna take the neutral stance and say maybe, possibly, potentially eat it. Maybe.
Mage, have you ever seen an iguana out here?
I don't know, but I've learned about politics from the internet. Or what I assume
What?
would be the internet.
No,
No, I
that
don't.
stuff is human meat on a stick. Don't eat it.
Iguana on a stick is human meat. Okay. Noted.
I'm gonna take the 50
But I don't
bucks.
think
By the way,
Oh,
Lisa, do you turn on the radio?
Oh no, I see what's
I'm gonna
happening
take-
here.
I'm gonna take the 50 bucks and the ammo.
It is also tuned to 8 Balls radio. So the same music is playing on there.
Is that why the song keeps doubling? Ah.
Oh god, yeah, no, it's actually set to repeat forever.
No,
Hold
it's
on.
it's not happening. For me, I actually can't even hear the music. I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, so it seems to have been taken, put here on the counter, and tuned to a radio station that was broadcasting locally after the apocalypse.
Mhm.
And there seem to have been like some goods and some shelves have been moved outside. There's been some fortification, some effort made to fortify this point.
Yes, maybe.
People definitely lived here, and there's recent signs of violence. You find spent brass nearby, you find blood, you find signs of struggle, but you don't find any bodies.
How recent is the blood?
It's
I'm a
beginning.
biologist.
It's beginning to turn brown. So you would get with that. You'd guess.
Wait, bio-sorted or maybe surgery?
You'd guess in the past 2 hours.
Patu? 2 hours? Ooh, shit.
I'll turn the radio off.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, guys, violence happened here recently. Anyway, I'm hacking recently, like today.
And no one's left. What do you think, slavers? Super mutants?
I don't. Well, I guess I have seen a super mutant now. The one that I saw was kind of nice, though.
Oh, yeah,
Slaver
that's
seems
right.
more likely.
Sometimes the two are interchangeable.
Nice and super mutant? Yeah.
No, some super mutants are slavers.
Oh.
So they'll drag
Oh.
away live victims rather than leave dead bodies.
Oh. Mm.
Well, from what I've heard, most of the time they're dragging away live victims to make them into more super mutants.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a thing? Oh my
Which-
goodness.
Not exactly slaving as such, more kidnapping
Indoctrinating.
and modifying. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds inhumane.
All the English professors I knew who could explain to me the difference between these words are dead now, so fuck it.
Humans should not be modified, no matter what the circumstances. That's terrible.
What are you talking about, Smooth Skin?
You sure about that?
I'm talking about involuntarily modifying humans without their consent. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
without consent.
so
yeah,
Charlie,
that
you see a
sounds
pop
terrible.
machine that's been popped,
Hmm.
and there is in fact a
Yeah.
console here. It does have a password that needs entering. Some cabinets have fallen off. This building seems to have been dilapidated. Other than the garage, which is hold up pretty well. Although the car in the back cannot be said for it.
Wait, are we crossing the street now?
Mm-hmm.
I have. I don't know.
So
Okay,
I
well,
do my
I'll turn-
standard password.
I'll just go through the
password
window, to be
cracking
honest.
protocol.
Yeah. By the way,
I'll poke around in the various
yeah.
drawers and papers and see if
Yeah.
they wrote it down.
yeah, Mage. I'm assuming you come here as well.
Yeah, I'll go over there.
So you look around. The papers don't have anything. You quickly find that this was Midwestern Marketing Solutions Tri-City office. It seems to have been a small workspace and like perhaps showroom of some kind. It's quite gone. There's a company car here and a bit of a workshop. Yeah, but if you and Mage would like to make your respective roles, you can both make the role.
All right, Mage, want to reenact that hacking scene from CSI?
Yeah, let's
Not
both do
CSI,
the hacking at the
NCIS.
same exact time.
You both type on the same
Does this
keyboard.
have my hacking on it? This does not have my hacking on it. Never mind.
Hacking
Yeah.
intensifies.
I need to
So
get
why
a
is that
hacking.
Protectron's role? Whatever. Oh, because I'm still as Protectron. Well, I did a bad job.
Hey, Recon.
I can.
So
Where's
yeah,
the hacking thing
Um,
happening?
you
Here? Here? Oh, there's the terminal. Okay, sorry, it was camouflaged.
yeah. So you make the hack. Protectron tries as well. So you guys managed to get in, and you find some entries. You find one entry called new clients. One entry called financial report, and you additionally see that there's a holotape in there that you could play or eject.
Oh shit! Let's play it.
Okay, let's start with the other ones. Let's go new client. Let's go financial report, new clients, then play the holotape.
All right.
You're so right. I always have the worst intuition when it comes to order of things.
I like to escalate interest.
Yeah. So
I like whatever she likes.
medical and drugs, food and drink. Am I really the correct? Come on. Yeah.
Earth angel, will you be mine? These songs are so similar.
So they're coming in fresh off the press. If you'd like to read them as they come.
Okay, it looks like Houseco is dealing with the PR scandal after the situation regarding robotification of the workforce. They're looking to blanket the whole situation in cash to make them look more all-American and less, shitty. If you'd like to grab the next one, Pat.
But of course, mademoiselle. J'attends la réponse de GM. Maintenant. Au moment. J'attends avec patience.
It's
That root beer company is trying to muscle in on Nuka-Cola's turf. My goodness. It's feeling like they might make an inroad here. People just want something new, flavor-wise, but don't dig sarsaparilla. I've taken them on with Augusto. Have a case in the back. Ooh. Might that have anything to do with
Yeah, we'll just check around for that case.
flavor? Yeah, right? Would you like me to take this one too?
yeah.
Go for it.
Who did we lose?
There's a
Rainbow?
potashery in northern Oregon that has reached out. Went to one of their wine tastings and had a blast. Feeling good about it. Happy to advertise for them. Not that I understand a whit of what this should mean.
So yeah,
Is
that's
this all under new clients?
yes.
Okay. For a second, I was like, well, those are some weird financial reports.
Houseco. What is Houseco?
That's it's a name you've heard before, actually.
It's a complicated story. Essentially, big guy did a bunch of robots and power tools.
This is actually different from Mr. House. This is the automated house company.
Oh, well, that's incredibly confusing. I feel like there should have been some sort of lawsuit about that.
I'm back. Sorry about
Huh. Well, it's a good thing that lawsuits are a thing of the past.
Not quite. Ever been to Vault City?
No?
What this shit mean?
Well, lawsuits are the thing of the present there.
Oh, sounds lovely.
I'm sure you would think so.
Anything that has the name Vault in it sounds good to me. Unless it's Vaults suck, in which case I'd be upset. Anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if that...
The financial report just indicated the finances seem to have been fine, largely because they were good fixers for terrible PR disasters. They seem to have been trying to branch into more reliable work.
All right. And let's play this holotape.
All right. And do you take it out and pop it in your device, or?
Might just press play on the computer. It's already in there.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
If that doesn't work, I'll stick it in my thing.
I learned from that one Brotherhood of Steel quest. You play the holotape before you put it in your system, so you don't have to run around to all those terminals in a very annoying fashion to catch the bug.
All right. So,
I don't know what that is.
everyone.
Hey, listeners. Antonio Fantastico here with a skinny on the hot new product. Little Tammy scrape his knee in kickball? Hammer your hand when a pesky nail rolls free. Or is it that time of month? Never fear, Laura Tab is here. That's right, all your pain can disappear if you just pull the tab on your Laura Tab. One simple pull and you release those iconic blue capsules you need. And this just in, as of this recording, and thanks to our federal lobbyists, the maximum recommended dose has just increased to 10. That's right, folks. So the next time you got a child or a friend in need, just release the tab and let her rip. Laura Tab, now in packs of 40. And if you order now, we'll throw in a second pack for free. Because of this all legal right to sue upon breaking the seal to anyone who consumes. Laura Tab does not endorse any of the other narcotic drugs besides the one we make. Laura Tab, because Laura don't lie.
What was that?
Fantastic.
Shout out to Cole.
I remember when you could buy drugs like that off a shelf and sell it for some bags. Get you doing it in the back alley.
What? Who did that? That was amazing.
That was
Cole made that?
So I wrote the script and Cole recorded and edited it.
Wow, that's cool.
Cole.
Shout out
Oh,
to Cole.
fucking God. Oh,
Cole's a king.
That was beautiful.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is really cool.
yes. So a little like note in a text file indicates that this, or not like a note like on the desk indicates that that Antonio Fantastico guy was willing to take the ad spot. Seems to need the money. I've put him in the file in case we need someone like him again.
I wonder if he's related to that Dr. Fantastic guy I ran into in Vegas a few years back.
Dr. Fantastic. I think I heard about a comic about her once. She turned invisible or something, and she had like a tower in like old.
Nah,
old
nothing
York.
like that. This was a guy helping with a solar power station.
Oh, huh.
Actually, I'm trying to remember if my character's timeline works out with him being there. Or the Brotherhood was still in. I think the Brotherhood was still in control when I went there. So
Never mind, I've never heard of anyone named Dr. Fantastic.
Well, I have. She was a character in the comics who turned invisible, and she lived in a big old tower in old New York. And she fought the bad
That's
guys
interesting.
with
let's
her
check for that root
sisters,
beer, though.
including one that was giant and had like gross face and stuff. And then there was one one of her sisters was super stretchy, and one of them turned into ice.
I love the commitment to the bit. Like,
If we're anything on the stream, it's committed.
Fucking true.
It's committed to our bids.
all right, now, what the
We want
fuck?
them bits.
So I
we commit to the
I
bits.
definitely came up with like a brand of root beer to have be like a soda of this region, and I cannot for the fuck of me find it in these
What
notes.
about Dr. Sassy for sarsaparilla?
Well, the thing is, the template specifically said that people aren't interested in sarsaparilla.
No,
Although,
you're right.
please correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't sarsaparilla and root beer very similar?
They are
That's
very
crazy
similar
both of
in
them.
the technical sense of creation them, in the sense of actually drinking them. Nah.
Okay.
I do
Good
like
enough.
root beer.
Because, to be
I
honest,
don't
both
like
of them taste like
sarsaparilla.
ass.
All right, first off, rude. Second off, I actually have in real life made both of them. It's a different root and ingredient portfolio.
But yeah, so if you guys want to check the back, you do find a 6-pack of root beer that they apparently never got to crack into before,
Yeah.
the apocalypse. And you also find, knocking about in one of the drawers, one dual injector of Hydra.
Ooh, what is Hydra?
Aside from that, you also find a toolbox, 2 spare tires, and 1 broken lamp. And
What does Hydra do in this system?
I will say that what it does is it restores a crippled or wounded body part up 1 status from crippled to wounded or wounded to fully functional for an hour, and afterwards your resistance is reduced by 3 until the next time you sleep.
Oof.
All right. Sounds good to me.
So, like, if you didn't have a doctor traveling with you, or if somebody's like actually got crippled and like couldn't even use their limb to like fight, then that might make sense to use. Otherwise, you might just sell it. I mean, it's a drug. It has value, street value.
I think I just heard a bomb go off. Or a gunshot.
Okay.
Never mind.
I
Well,
know.
you're dressed for the occasion.
Yeah. Hold on, Pat.
Are you okay, Pat?
I don't know. I think I heard gunshots outside.
Pat?
Let's keep playing.
Pat, for reference, you know what gunshots sound like, right?
Yes.
I feel like we would have heard them if they were that loud.
Could you
though.
distinguish them from fireworks?
They're far away.
Who the fuck is
not.
like, yes, a pandemic. Let me fucking shoot off some fireworks.
Look,
America.
I live in rural butt fuck.
Assholes.
A
That's
lot
it.
of people.
Yeah, America.
Yeah, a lot of people I feel like would set off fireworks right now just to be a dick.
Imagine.
I definitely heard one or the other. And it's definitely not right outside my door, but like maybe a block down.
I mean, what part of that city are you in? I mean, I know that city isn't known for being like super chill.
City. But no, this would have been like kind of. Oh, could be the park. That's like 2 blocks down.
All right, so either way,
It's
why I left
firework.
mine.
That's where it would be. If it's
Yeah.
gunshot, could be fucking anywhere.
this is more or less
That's
what
exactly why I left my apartment.
this is more or less what you find, other than the fact that
Anyway.
a fastidious search through the files would find notes about the Hermiston account. In particular, it says we've stashed the bullion there just in case, you know?
Bullion. I like bullion. Because for some reason people still value gold very highly in the post-apocalypse, despite the fact that I don't fucking understand why.
But it's
Because Bill
shiny.
Clayford
It's
told
just
us
a
to buy
shiny
gold.
rock.
But it's shiny.
I can't help but think it's just like a holdover perception from the pre-apocalypse. Like all the books and stories and like passed down knowledge indicates that gold's super valuable, so everyone likes to buy it, but it's completely useless and heavy and cumbersome.
Gold isn't that heavy. It is very malleable.
I'll tell you about the end of Dead Money sometimes. Gold is heavy.
Okay, fair.
Yo, for real. Oh my god.
You're gonna carry
I'm
that
sure
weight.
there's a market for it,
Buck-ass
even
naked
then.
running out of that hotel.
So, yeah. You guys have tossed this area, generally speaking, of its most obvious useful resources. Do you want to inspect the place for, I don't know, tracks, or do you want to keep going?
No, let's just keep going. We're not tracking people.
Yeah, we're just trying to avoid people, to be honest. So
People get murdered all the time. It's the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the
I
cops.
mean, yeah. As much as I am a do-gooder,
I feel like having some ideas to who or what was here could be valuable information.
to
Could warn us as to what we might run into.
Sounds like you're a nerd.
as a nerd myself. Ha ha, nerd!
I mean, no, like valid points. Those like guys making valid points, but if
Agree.
I will say you don't, it won't take any additional time for the party for Twombly to roll a perception field crafting check for traps if you'd like. Not traps,
I mean,
for tracks.
I'll
Perception
give you
fieldcraft.
whatever.
Let's see here. Perception, fieldcraft. +5 for that. Oh, +10 for that. For the, okay. Let's roll. And the magic number is 68, I believe.
All right, so yeah, Twombly. Is there anything else you guys would like to do on this map before we pop off?
I'm good.
Wait, what about this this vending machine outside? Does it have anything in it?
The pop machine.
The pop machine, yes.
So there is a lock on it to access like the internals. Do you or anybody you know, love, and hold dear, would they like to make an agility jigging to unlock it?
and it's really jigging.
Well, friends, I can't do this.
I feel like there is a person
I'm
in
not
our
good at
party
it,
that
although
is
I would
good
like
at
to take
agility
that
jigging.
radio.
I'm good.
Hey, Flesh Party.
You need something opened?
There's a vending machine outside. It might have stuff in it. I don't know.
What, you need
Shall
a
we
fucking
find out?
soda? I got you a soda. Hang on, let's see.
Given the option, though, I would like to take that radio.
Oh yeah, so you just
No,
want
no stuff, no fucking
Alright.
sodas for
All right,
anybody,
so
man. I'm sorry.
so the so the radio is heavy. That being said, you could put it on lucky, but it counts for
that was
it
that
counts
was
as
the
double
idea.
jump. Yeah. So yoink, you got the radio, and Twombly,
I did even worse than you did.
the pop machine, the bullet seems to have messed with it. You got Twombly. So all right. This is the crossing, right? This is the rail crossing zone, if you will. Rail crossing abandoned base, we'll call it. And the hints of movement, the trails seem to suggest a straight southerly travel. or a straight-ish southerly travel.
Well, that's not where we're going.
Awesome.
All right. Excellent. So you want to, generally speaking, traverse towards IH Regional, which you can see in the distance, a towering structure in the distance, with like a big IH off the side. How do you show me on the doll how you will proceed, and if you want someone to be in the vanguard, put them in this square. And then like this is like the rest of the party, so that you guys can scout out and get an idea of hostile encounters which might be up ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna place it myself.
So I know Felix is very fragile.
I kind of wanted to be behind Protectron, but you know what?
However, aren't you the one with?
Protectron's protecting Ron, not protecting Charlie.
Don't you? Wait. Felix, I know you're like fragile, but aren't you the one with like 5 alertness?
I do have a crazy alertness. That's true.
So maybe you can be at the front with me.
Fine, but when this goes poorly, you owe me a stim pack.
I can me and Protectron can like flank you.
I like that plan.
So like you can go there.
Me, my robots, and me in the city.
Yeah, so yeah. I didn't even remember the song is in here.
Back to the start.
Charlie shoots himself in the head.
Oh, Tsunami! Thank you for the gift subs. Thank you so much. And a gift to Jur. Jur is very, very glad they got that. Yes, the Jones Pantry. You put my Hydra back. Hello, chat, and thank everyone for that.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, so you guys advance with your robots in the vanguard, and Sapphire, are you like up front or are you in the back? Like, there's people who are like scouting ahead. Are you scouting ahead from the party or are you in the back? Jade?
Jade.
What?
Are you scouting in the forward group or are you back with the party?
I'll
I will say
It's probably better to have you back with the party.
Yeah,
because
you're not
there.
You're not the sneakiest of girls.
You can shoot people like from the back. I feel like being in the back is probably a good idea.
All right, Sydney throws in the back. Mage, you want to be in the back?
Yeah, of course.
In the back. All right, cool. You guys advance around. And as you guys get a bit further, you come upon a large like intersection, like a big highway-ish road, which cuts apart in front of you. That's there in Fallout, but not in the real world. I'm sorry, the map doesn't well represent this, and I didn't do anything for it. Point is, it's a large-ish road, mostly for like trucks and stuff coming up from the southeast. And you hear a weird like sound that you identify after a moment as the sound of a Mr. Handy, as engine
or
burning,
Mr. Gutsy,
or Mr. Gutsy.
All right. Probably want to let's get down.
Yeah, let's just like hide for a moment and let it pass.
Hide?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, so it doesn't.
I mean, I would love another robot buddy. That'd be great, but.
So after a moment of approaching, of like waiting, it seems to be holding distance wherever it is.
So it's maybe sense. Do we want to send one of the robots ahead to like check it out?
So is it like
Over the
behind a building?
door.
We don't have sight on it. No, we don't.
No, so you do not have sight on. That being said, there's just going to be like a sort of a strip mall thing, a short one with maybe like 2 or 3 businesses adjoining this highway, and you think it's coming from like within that series of structures.
All right, do we want to check that out or not check that out?
Well, I mean,
I have an idea.
we
Place a
probably-
marker here on your Pit Boy, and we'll come back to it after we hit IH, because we kind of want to get there before the Enclave guys.
Yeah, great idea. I'll put a marker here.
So, you would like to find a way to. So you want to traverse the. So, like, you're gonna have to go out of your way to go around this. You'd like to do that.
How out of the way are we talking? Are we
Maybe,
talking about,
maybe a few blocks. Maybe a couple blocks.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not bad.
Sure. And now, sure. So you guys are advancing, and
People sounds are bad usually.
so yeah, you
Where they go.
guys advance forward a beat, and yeah, I will copy paste this and call it what it is. And yeah, you guys approach and you find a depressed part of the city where there's been clear collapses in the ground, and the flooding has swelled in here, and like there's broken pipes and suggestions of sewage system here. There's clearly damage in and around the rivers in particular. This seems to be part of the collapse of the Tri-City area. Your Geiger counter starts to get some ticks as you get too close to some of the gaps in the ground.
Well, is there any way to circumvent these depressions?
Certainly. Well, there's sort of like winding, snaking issues through the town, and they have collapsed banks on either side. There's also some narrower portions where people have thrown out like sheet metal or planks of wood to be bridges. So it's not that this is like a world map travel blocking barrier. It's just something to be aware of in the area you're traversing.
All right.
Okay. So let's use these sheet metal bridges that seem to exist. And, where none exist, we shall create our own.
All right.
Right?
How deep are the trenches?
1 to 3 stories, depending.
Ooh.
And sometimes they are dry-ish. Sometimes they are like there's like waist-high water in them. Sometimes the Geiger counter gives lots of tings off of them.
Oh, geez. How many in total are there? Like,
What do you mean? How many in total?
like you said, there's like a series. There's a series of like trenches, right? What?
So like this region of the map.
I see.
Yeah, it's more than just a few.
I mean, we just keep fucking going.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
yeah. If we can like reasonably get across them, that's fine.
If the going gets tough, we'll
All right. So could anybody in the party, or could people in the party give me perception fieldcraft, and perception blending?
I can do that.
Yeah, perception blending
I
for like
roll
finding your way
that.
through the cityscape. Perception fieldcraft for okay, yeah.
Oh. Well, shit. Oh my god! Bruh,
Very clear.
Okay.
I see everything.
All right. So
The all-seeing eye.
the cowboy finds some Brahmin pies, suggestive that there's been livestock through recently. And basically, as you guys find a pretty rapid path towards IH Regional, and you know that like there's sort of like a fall off ledge of like between where like the city is and like IH Regional. There are some buildings that are kind of like against it, but you also see that there's like water pouring out of like a big burst pipe. And it sort of forms almost like a little river in the city that feeds out into these broken landscapes. But you find, like, at the mouth, like, at the, almost like the this, like, delta, you find a town, you hear, like, the sounds of, like, people banging on things before you see it directly. But your scouting party goes out there and they see a place where people are painting a big sign with red using, like, the blood of something. And they've written New A on it so far. And they've gotten like a long piece of wood. And there, you see there's a few Brahmin in the pen, like 6. And they're banging things, they're working on things, and there's one person in combat armor with a pretty fierce looking, looks like a Chinese assault rifle actually. And the rest of the people there don't look quite as well armed. Several of them look like they have like scarring around their neck, and like their neck is a lot, like certain bands around their neck are a lot less tanned. And
Escaped slaves.
and they're generally speaking looking like they're all tired and they've all been working and they don't know when they're going to stop working, and they've been working for a while. And you see them beginning to like there's agri-pots, people are trying to like till the soil. There's some people trying to set up some sort of like New Abolition is the name of the town that you heard of, or Gorge City. So, Zed wanted to call it Gorge City.
Motherfuckers, we found New Abolition, guys.
Yeah, so you seem to have found
Oh shit!
New Abolition right at the foot of IH Regional.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah.
We've gotten in.
Yeah. New Abolition isn't built by any of the buildings that would take you up and down, but they are near New Abolition. But yeah, so there is this settlement before you that you could approach. They seem to all be very busy and concerned, and like they're watching their backs. And there's also IH Regional. You will have to ascend through one of the nearby semi-collapsed buildings, or climb about 70 feet.
To reach both of them?
To reach what?
I'm confused. Like,
oh,
I say we ascend through one of the semi-collapsed buildings. Might as well pass the New Abolition and say, like, "Hey, we're not here to kill you."
Okay, so
Let's talk to the New Abolition people. At worst, we have new enemies. At best, we have new friends.
All right,
wait, who are they again? Wait, wait, I forgot.
They're settlers. They're
Okay,
X-Force.
whoa. Okay, so you remember those people that rolled into the last town we were at and they were a little nervous?
Those guys.
No.
Oh.
oh, yeah. Well, I remember you guys talking to them, but I was not in that
Yeah,
conversation.
more of those guys.
Sure. Okay. Well, they seem friendly enough for last time, right? So-
I know, right? And they liked the fact that I was a botanist.
yeah, they seemed friendly enough. So do you guys like just roll into town and say hello?
Sure.
All right.
You should present a good face, at least. So maybe
Felix is going?
Yeah, is it like Felix?
Felix and me.
Is Felix gonna? Okay, so is Felix gonna walk out there like flanked by robots, or is it gonna be like Mage and Felix?
Mage, Felix, and the robot behind. Like, yeah, we got muscle too. If you know.
We're like slightly behind.
All right. So you walk out and are met by some people who pretty quickly like sort of like grope for weapons or like get in their positions and like hey, who are you?
Friends, you're New Abolition, right? We were sent here to provide you with some agricultural knowledge because we were told that there was this new settlement that needed our assistance.
They look kind of
well, we're gonna do that in a bit. We got something else to do first. We'll get back around for that.
So
yeah.
The guy who seems to take charge at the gatehouse is like, who told you this, strangers?
Some of your own people, Zeb or something.
All right, does anybody actually like say his name? So like, I mean, I guess Zeb is closer to Zed.
I'll say their names.
Zed and He's like, oh, all right. You up at Crow's Nest?
That's where we were.
Good.
Until we were informed about you guys. Here to
Well,
help. Ish. We're also here to do other things, but mostly to help.
Well, I appreciate your kindness, stranger. New Abolitions, we're just sort of, as you can tell, you hear the resumption of like people banging nails into things, sort of getting started out here.
Yeah.
So any help would be mighty appreciated here for us in the cause. But yeah. I don't suppose I don't.
Any enemies of the horse people are friends of me.
Oh, good. We don't have no truck with no horse warriors or no equity.
Likewise, they took one of my friends and also tried to take me, but they failed.
my consolation. We've all lost people to their tyranny.
I feel like I'll get her back eventually. Until
I,
then, here's to helping those that aren't them.
well, here's to hoping. You're welcome to come in. We don't exactly have a lot to trade, but if you want to swap knowledge and such, feel
We're
free.
here to swap knowledge and also access some of the buildings around by you folks.
They're like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I will say, we have laid claim to all of the immediately adjacent part of the canals, but
Of course,
Other than
we're
that-
not looking to set any roots down. We're just in between places looking for things and such, and also parting with knowledge that we may have.
And I'll be like, we're headed up in that direction. I gesture vaguely towards the IH regional direction, but not directly towards it.
like,
And I'm
oh,
just like,
oh yeah, sure, towards the highway. Well,
Yeah.
you all
Which one of those buildings along the cliff do you think is best to traverse?
they point to one that is sort of just like it's like two viable buildings north, and they suggest that climb up to that one. There is reliable roof access, and they know that the staircase is collapsed on the third floor, but you can go to the secondary staircase to get from the up to and past the third floor and the fourth floor, and then you have to go back to the main staircase again, and then you can get up to the roof. And then it's just a little clamber.
All right, easy enough.
Thank you.
I would ask who amongst them is in charge of dealing with agriculture. If there's one person, or if there's multiple people, I can talk to them both.
They-
Multiples or whatever.
They look around and they're like, "Well, I mean, we don't really
Growing
have
things.
don't
We're
have
gonna do
anybody
farmings and
in
stuff,
charge,
right?
but yeah, I mean, we're all trying to grow something. There are some people who are looking very confused and trying to engage in some agriculture. They've set up agripots like they've seen them before, but they don't seem to really be doing well. You could help them.
Please allow me to assist. Hi.
Yeah, that's real generous and, Jimmy Carter review, Mage, but we can do
Who's
this
that?
after the other thing.
Oh, you're right. We do have a schedule. I'll come back through though. I'll help you.
They're a little curious at the mention of the schedule, but given that you're not hostile
We're
and you
trying to
mentioned your
save
friends
some
before,
people's lives.
they're like, sure, and they're like, well, is there anything that we could do to help you with that? I mean, we're a little busy, but
Nah,
I feel like you guys have your hands full.
all right.
Trust me, I got everything I need right here.
I gesture at my two robots and my big gun.
Amazing.
I should write a book to help people
Lisa
out.
gives like a
Agricultural
very mechanical wave. She puts her hand up and her hand just kind of just turns at the wrist, sort of very mechanically.
Me. So yeah,
Hi, I also do
with that, you go and you ascend through the building. It is as previously described. It appears to be a ruined office building of some sort. There are two different staircases. One is mostly collapsed, but following their advice, you manage to get up onto the roof and clamber out of this region of the map. And you are within spitting distance of IH Regional. Although as you get close to it, you do find that there is a scrap and trash wall that has blocked off the most immediate street. So you go over to the next street, and there's also a scrap and turned over car wall there. Although you do notice that there's a bit of a hole in it. There seems to have been some explosion from the inside blowing out. There's a bit of blood and some viscera and discarded broken weapons and bits of ripped armor and such. There seems to have been some historical conflict around this site.
Sounds like an entry point to me.
I will note that as you get close to IH Regional, you see that some of the upper stories have collapsed, although it looks like the ceiling, the roof and Keeley, the helipad, seem to be secure.
Huh. The helipad. You don't say.
Yeah, you might have remembered something about a helipad being involved with how your enemies intended to get there.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, as you get closer, you see the IH Regional's office paneled windows. are a certain sickly shade of green in the post-apocalyptic sun.
Hmm. How interesting.
Yeah, if
I
I
only.
mean, we approach, I guess.
kind of wish I'd already talked to the locals and taught them things about agriculture. But
Well, think about it this way. If we all die here, to our perception, the world no longer exists, and therefore their plight in farming no longer exists.
I was thinking more along the lines of if we taught them stuff before we entered here, they
True.
are valuable allies. However, worst case scenario, we'll provide them fertilizer. Anyway,
Yeah, so you see this this strange like black black intersection green glass window building very very stands out in the landscape. Yeah, how cyberpunk. It has
Not that I know what that word means.
the glowing green and teal IH sign on the side of it. Yeah, there seems to have been fortifications. You also find destroyed what look like turrets.
Are we supposed to be on a map or?
No.
Oh, okay, I just.
Yeah, because I haven't made the map yet.
So next time, gotcha.
Yeah, because basically every night I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't make enough content. But then magically I did. But tonight was not a Hanukkah night. The little lamp oil did not burn long enough. So neither New Abolition nor IH Regional were ready. And like the Urbane encounter was, but you guys rightfully passed it up. So yeah,
Cool.
you guys arrive and you find destroyed turrets, carnage, blood, suggestions of violence.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really suggested of why there's been all this fighting here. But a lot of the people who are dead do appear. Some like the weathered. There's like a skeleton here, some weathered corpses that have mostly been chewed on. But like what's left appear to have been wearing raider garb.
Huh. This is kind of worrisome.
Yeah, one thing you do find, so like the green windows come down to floor level, but they're not. You can't see into them from the outside. There is like what it would appear to naturally be like the doorway with a large arch around it, and a platform has been built in front of it, almost like an altar. And underneath it, there's just piled bones and rust and metal bits and I-beams, and it's been raised up into this altar, this post-apocalyptic altar, and on the top of it is a skeleton. The skeleton is unadorned, save for on its forehead, where a peeling gold star sticker is coming off. And the gold star seems to almost shine a little green in the light.
This is kind of bugged.
And that's where we end tonight.
Yes, you do see that the undergirdings of this altar do seem to lead towards the doorway, or what should be the front doorway to IH Regional, whether or not you'd like to go in through the front door or find a back entrance.
We
Is another
gonna try
question.
and find the fucking back door.
If there's one constant in my life, it is that I am a backdoor busty.
I don't
Indeed.
know what that means.
Right. Jade enjoyed that one.
Yo, what?
So with that, does anybody have to go to bed like soon?
Yes.
Okay. 12 side.
Nah.
Fucking no job for 2 weeks minimum.
My girlfriend said she wanted to try a Netflix party, and she also sleeps early. So I'll go after 12-sided.
Yes. Oh, 12 side. Hit me with it.
As potentially virus stricken, I will go first.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
You will.
my brain is dead. Wow, I got nothing. I always enjoy the shopping encounters. I surprisingly have a hard time spending money, so it's always nice being able to.
Mhm.
I'll be honest. I have no idea what we're doing. Like, I'm lost in this plot.
Mm-hmm.
As would like to see more of. As always, the answer is Hime. But well, you know me, I love my urban encounters. And we've been getting lots of those.
And so, like, just more of this. Like, you've been liking the urban encounters, but you want more of them.
I mean, that's my jam. Is urban Fallout is where all the cool stuff happens.
Yeah, so you're digging this.
I suppose I want to see more of my doppelganger and that plot line, but I have a feeling I'm going to anyway. So
All right.
Definitely.
With that, anything else, or is it bedtime?
no, I'm going to bed.
All right, peace. Pat, hit us with it.
Well, okay. So, what did I like? Whew, I feel like I really enjoyed this session. Honestly, I feel like this is. I don't want to sound like too gung ho about it, but I feel like this was a really great session. And even though we didn't cover much ground, really, in terms of combats or anything, I feel like I had a good time, and we got quite a distance. I loved building the rafts and floating them towards the city. Even though perhaps I feel like I let the party do some quick stuff that I would have perhaps had contingencies for if I had spoken up earlier. I did not speak up earlier, and I perhaps will in the future, but I really enjoyed the raft building and floating process. It was super fun.
The party builds a raft. I enjoy that you guys found a creative solution around the Roachman encounter. Not that I don't have ways to make the Roachman encounter fun, but it makes sense to, not risk your life dying to
Yeah.
horrible raiders when you could
I must
not do
must
that.
thank Max for the opportunity to do so, because I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
have
cool.
thought of floating that shit down the river. Max is the MVP of the night, everybody.
I'll talk about it more during my feedback phase, but yeah,
Of
I have stuff to
course,
say about my
darling,
idea for that.
Of course. Lee, save her for last so that I can hear it from my room, please.
All right.
The game's over. Stop.
All right. So what was your
No.
So Pat, give me more. What was your least favorite part?
Least favorite part. That's harder than picking out my favorite part. I would say my least favorite part's probably that I got a rad point. But in terms of things that I can actually blame you for, maybe the Mr. Handy kind of randomly being in the wilderness ? And we didn't follow up on it or anything. I don't know.
Are you using the wildy in like a RuneScape sense? Because no, they were next to like a highway.
Wildy.
Okay,
in the RuneScape sense.
Okay,
in
I was
the urban encounter.
I was about to be I will say that particular Mr. Handy has like a custom name and a reason to be where they are that fits together really well. But I get what you're saying is like you didn't like the fact that you heard nebulously about a Mr. Handy in the distance. Like that didn't.
Yeah, like we didn't follow up on it. I don't know. I'm nitpicking, honestly. I can't fault you for anything that happened this session. It was a very good session.
Sure. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see more of?
More of? I think more opportunities to craft things. Maybe when Sydney's around next time, though.
Yeah, it's a shame because again, like every time there's like a perfect Sydney session.
I know, and Sydney was the entire thing.
The good news is that if they win again as expected, they will not be playing at this time of day anymore because they'll be in a different league. If they get leagued up, then this
I don't know what
this
is about. Is this League of Legends?
No, it's CS:GO. They are.
That is.
It's
Computer science go.
They shoot at people. Anyway, point is, anything else you want to add before you gotta?
No, I think this is a great session. More of this. More fun.
All right, awesome. So Jade, hit me with it. Ooh, was that a bloop bloop? Thank you so much, Jor.
I liked meeting the people that had that had the questionable wares, and I liked the raft, even though it was making me a little bit anxious.
All right, so you liked meeting people with questionable wares, and what was the other thing that you? Yeah, the raft. Although made you a
My
little
raft was
anxious.
fine. It was the other raft.
Yeah, you got on the raft called the Unsinkable. I mean, good life choices.
I'm glad the robots were on that one, because yeah, you
Acid
know.
spit. Yeah. So yeah, raft made you a little anxious. Would you say that was your least favorite part? Was the fact that it was a little anxiety-inducing, or?
Nah, it puts you on edge. It's like Fallout is supposed to do that. It's post-apocalypse. It's not like, you know,
Not a
comfortable always.
yeah, you're not a whitewater rafting trip or whatever. It's
Part of the experience.
Yeah.
I expect it.
Well, yeah. So, was there anything that was like more boring or less fun compared to other parts? I know this was a combat-free session because of how it played out.
Yeah, that's you know, I like to shoot things. I well, we did fight the Mirelurks, but it was more just a grenade toss.
Mm-hmm.
A few shots.
Yeah, it was more like a passing exchange than a sit there and like murder them.
Yeah. I don't have any immediate complaints, but
Sure. What do you want to see more of?
You know, I'll reach out to you if I think of something.
Yeah, you can slide in my DMs anytime. But is there anything you'd like to see more of coming up? You are about to go into IH Regional.
Oh, jeez.
Blind hypnotics.
I want to say something, but I feel like it'll come back to like really bite us in the ass if I do.
No, hit us with it.
By all means.
Super mutants.
Oh, you want to see more super mutants? All right.
Interesting.
And we're all dead. Great. And that's it. It's done. It's done. We're all dead.
Shoot him in the head.
All right, yeah. More super mutants. And with that, anything else or? All right. Greggy Pookins.
Not.
Yeah. Your favorite, least favorite, what I'd like to see more of, I shall give it to you thusly. So I gotta say, I think my favorite was the wild water rafting. That was pretty tight. Even though the ship broke up in the middle, I thought that was like, woo, shit. Least favorite, I feel like we might have spent a bit too much time in Crow's Nest. It seems like a place we always go to when we spend like mad time there. And I feel like we've been trying to get to IH for forever. But I mean, we also don't want to go there with like less than, pristine health, which I get. But at the same time, I'm like,
yeah, the town phase shit could have been handled
I'm excited
quick.
for this thing at IH. I want to kick these motherfucking enclave bitch ass motherfucking teeth in. I don't like them. Because fuck the police. So that's what was probably my least favorite. I mean, it's always fun interacting with the traders, the people down there, and shit like that.
Like the people in New Abolition.
We've been on this murder mystery to hunt down the dude that killed old guy, and it's all coming to a head. And I've been wanting to get there, and that's what I want to see more of. I want to see what's going to go down with this IH. I'm itching. The homie got stabbed in the alley for this shit, and we're gonna fuck him up and restore water and be the heroes and fucking dance on top of fucking mechanical bulls and get wild and have them the time after we fuck these guys up. We can't wait.
Hell yeah! All right, and anything else?
Oh no, that's it. That's my.
All right.
No, that's me.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
I'm about to.
So good things. Even though we say this like every time, I actually thought the maps were especially good today. Like better than usual, even, which is saying a lot, to be honest.
Really? Wow, because I was afraid I'd phoned it in with the maps.
No, they were really, really good today.
That's awesome. What in particular stood out as like a positive?
The last one we were on, the little railroad crossing one.
Yeah, rail crossing.
This was especially good, and honestly, the little thing across the river as well. But like this whole area at the top up here and everything, like the down here part is good, but this is like as good as the normal stuff, which is godlike, as we've said multiple times. But like this whole area of here, like it just is especially just looks really good. I don't know, like it just it's not like a standard like four walls and like a roof kind of thing, right? But it still looks like really good and natural and everything, and like all the pieces are like placed really well, like I can tell you placed them specifically, but it still feels like they were just blown there by like natural. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, no, I'm glad.
No, yeah, this map was sick. I feel so. We all just have bad memories, I think, or I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I feel like if we could just get like literally just like I don't know, like 2 or 3 sentences from you or something at the beginning of each session. That's just like a last time when you're reading in Fever, like that would be dope.
I've been seeing going back to for the first episode or two. I did record like entire recaps of the episode that I did in like 5 to 10 minutes. So I might go back to those.
That would be a lot. Like
I don't intend to do it at the beginning of the episode, but yeah.
Like at the beginning of the session, if you just gave us like a real quick like last time you guys were going like, and for the audience too, I think would be nice, right?
You're right, yeah.
Just a little like, and sometimes people can't catch every session and stuff, right? So really,
if you want me, if you
either
Mountley, I will do them in my radio announcer voice.
I mean, I do love your radio announcer voice recaps. So we might transition to that, yeah.
But yeah, just like a real quick like one paragrapher, that would be really dope, I think.
Yeah. And so that was overall your least favorite of a sense of like, I don't remember what the fuck happened last time, what we're doing next.
Yeah, like I agreed with Twelve-Sided, where I was just like, where the fuck are we? What I don't want to stop the session to ask for explanation, right?
But yeah.
And I feel like if I just get that little like memory jogger at the beginning, my brain will just like lock all the pieces into place,
I do intend to transition us harder back towards the hunt for the vault plot that brought you guys out here to begin with. I feel like I have lost that thread a little. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. I think that's like a very overarching plot,
Yeah. Other interesting things will evince themselves. But yeah. So, and anything else that was like slow, or anything else you really liked, or what you liked more of?
I agree. The town was a little slow. I really liked. I don't know if it was just like consequence of like people being displaced today or something, or like. I don't know, but like a lot of people were like muting themselves like mid-session, like including myself. And I actually liked that because like people weren't talking over each other a lot. It was really good, actually. Like pretty good this session overall, actually. Like the talking over each other, and also the like, what would you call that? Like, just kind of like chatter in the background while something's happening,
Yeah. So group cohesion has improved. Excellent.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I noticed and I appreciate that. Although, do technically like in the feedback phase, it is supposed to be on me. But if it's a positive thing, that's okay.
Well, but it's on you to like
to control it. Yeah.
To control us. Yeah. So like,
we are the cats. You are the herder.
Correct. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. So the cat herding came out better tonight. Not necessarily I controlled that, but it was above.
But like you can control. Like maybe not today. It wasn't what you did, but you can. Like.
Yeah, I influenced it at least. What do you want to see more of?
What I want to see more of? I want to see more like, and I know this is a little bit on us too, but I would like to see more things that don't immediately shoot us. It's just interesting.
All right. And is that
I
it?
feel like we've been like very combat focused lately
Mhm.
in past couple sessions, which I like, but like there are people here who don't just kill things, so
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah. That's it.
With that, Max, it is your go.
All right. Overall, I thought it was a really solid session. I think we brought back some of the rhythm and progress. Like, yeah, sure, geographically we didn't get very far, but I think we got a decent bit done this session. It was interesting. There wasn't any true combat, and I do feel like that was a bit of a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there was the one thing where we shot the Mirelurks briefly, but like, let's be honest, that was more like a terrain complication than a real combat.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't. I didn't think of it as a real combat either.
I also want to point out that I think the normal Mirelurks, like the ones we had in the tokens there, don't spit acid. It's only
Yeah,
special
I
effects.
didn't have the token for the. They're supposed to look like. Yeah, no, they're not supposed to look like
Yeah,
that if they spit acid.
I figured you knew that and just didn't have the time, but I just want everyone to know that I know that
Yeah,
and know you're wrong.
indeed.
Yes, aside from that, I thought it was really solid. I mean, yes, I would have liked a combat encounter somewhere in there, in that, especially in that place when it was like all the water and the buildings that we looted through. When that came to, I was like, okay, this seems like the time in the session for the combat encounter. This seems like a map for our combat encounter. We haven't done a combat encounter yet. I really 100% went in there thinking it would be a combat encounter. And pulling that bait and switch, to be honest, was good. I liked it. I liked that. Like, I went in with a very definitive expectation of what's going on. They're like, nope, it's this other thing. And I kind of like that. But on the other hand, it was such an opportune time.
It would have been. Yeah, I will say.
I feel like you
Yeah,
missed out.
I will
by
say.
not putting it there.
Likely not the last time you're going through that region. So, but I'll just say that. But
that's fair.
Especially if you return back the same path, although you might not. Who knows? But yeah. Actually,
I
cool that there's a bait and switch, but due to the overall lack of combat and the fact that it was had a lot of potential tactically as a zone to fight in, it felt like a lost opportunity.
Yeah, like there were several bits where it was like, okay, there's the cover up there, there's the two buildings down here, and there's like a few places we can kind of cross the rivers, and there's like the branch. And I'm like, this seems like there's a lot of tactical interest here, and then it's just an area we poke around in for a bit.
For sure.
Someone earlier also said that the town phase could have gone a bit faster. I agree. I think it was actually a pretty good town phase, all things considered, especially for looking at historical record. But it could have been better.
Absolutely. Still an area where I do really need to improve.
So yeah, good, but continue the trend. Aside from that, I don't really have much else to say. I'm looking forward to getting to IH.
You did say though that you had stuff to say about the raft idea.
Oh, I love the whole raft thing. I thought that was brilliant for a billion reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, effectively, what happened was these like, do you have any, think about what you're going to do next? And I was immediately like, what's the current on the river like? What direction does it flow in? And then I was like, let's do a raft. And he set that all up brilliantly.
Yeah, the whole reason the Soda Jerk, like
for any viewers that are still on, we do kind of pre-discuss what I'm gonna push the party to do in the next session, so that he can have maps for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the whole reason that the fucking this map existed was because we had that conversation. I was like, let's put together a really simple shoreline map,
And I mean, if this is your definition of a really simple map, like, fuck my butt and call me a biscuit.
Yeah, right?
Like, this is the better map than I would ever make for anything ever.
Yeah, I let myself get a little carried away on this one.
And I say that as a person who's currently applying for a job as an environment designer for a video game studio. So I'll take that back. But yeah, point being, overall, really good session. My big criticism is the lack of combat. I'm not the hugest combat junkie in the world, but like, it does feel weird to have effectively none through an entire session.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely think I drew back off it because the whole getting out there was so like fight to fight to fight that I did want to ease off of it a little. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna, when the correction has been made and we're gonna get back to that nice rhythm. That one combat a session kind of rhythm. But yeah. Or two, maybe. But yeah, so overall, and what would you see more of?
I mean, yes, I like the non-combat encounters. I'd love to see more of those. The out of the box problem solving, which was kind of the rafts. I think that was a fun bit, and like looking around the map, and because you do such a good job with the mapping, the maps themselves inspire play.
What else? Well
Like
said.
I had no idea aside from let's throw together a raft. The only plan in my head before seeing this map was like maybe we'll find some bits of wood, tie them together with ropes, and call it a day. But like you showed us the canoes, I looked at the tile floors, that gave me a big idea. Like there was lots of stuff.
Oh yeah, I know you guys got so creative when you're like, I'm ripping out the linoleum and that shit, and you're like, ooh shit.
Yeah, because I mean I was thinking like how do we patch these boat holes? I was like a tarp maybe. Like I don't what could we use for that? And bam, you already gave it to us here. So I mean, yeah. Favorite, least favorite. I kind of already did that. So yeah, that's about it for me. I'm not sure if anyone else hasn't gone yet though.
No, I think everyone's gone. So with that, I would like to
This
say
is the first time I've gone last. I don't mind because
so,
I'm not like super tired or anything. But
yeah, so I will just say thank you everyone for coming out. We are going to raid one of our nice tabletop neighbors. I am going to drop an exclamation mark links. We do have tile pack Apocalyptic Americana, and if you want to throw us a little money, and by us I mean like mainly Pat. She made like all these tiles. Some of the shittier old ones, like this one box or whatever, was made by me. But there's an entirely full. She has her own box. There's a whole full-fledged tile set that you can use to make apocalyptic scenes that Pat has made for our use. It's excellent. Please consider going out and supporting it. If you type
I mean, shit, I
exclamation mark
played
Fallout.
like top-down games that are worse looking than this.
I literally was thinking that the other day, like 3 sessions ago or
Yeah,
something.
and I just dropped exclamation mark Fallout. It has stuff in there. Please consider joining us in our Discord community. We have a very active and wonderful community, and we are looking to expand our play with Freistadt. Speaking of, Max, you're good for Friday, right?
Yeah.
All right, so tomorrow night, you're going to see the finale of our Retro Future Noir, also using a lot of this tile pack. And that's a Stars Outnumber game with just Pat and Max as players. And then, but wait, there's more on Saturday. We're going to have a game with just Pat, but maybe also a special guest of alien cuisine in the alien role-playing game. And we'll find out the secrets of the space pasta. Ooh. And
if this is Alien MasterChef, how dare you not invite me?
No, it's something else, but we'll consider. But Monday, we're going to be back on the grind with more Freistadt. Wednesday, Freistadt. Probably even a Friday Freistadt. Why did I make Thursday an option on that React? I was such an idiot. Anyway, point is, lots of Freistadt going around. It's our Urban West Marches 5e game, if you don't know. And yeah, generally speaking, if you join that Discord, you'll get an at everyone every single time we go live. You can suppress them if you find them annoying, but if you want to keep up with us, it's probably the best way. I post on my socials as well. I'm just rambling at this point, so let me get in here and pitch off the raid so we can all call it a night. Twitch is taking a second to load here. I'm going to go ahead and axe all of these video chats, and the cameras will be fucked, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, how about this individual? They seem cool. Create a dashboard. Let's pop the raid button. And come on. Also, hey Recon, thank you for coming out. Oof, I should have read all of the things you wrote before I refreshed this tab, and now I can't see them. But thank you everyone who came out. Appreciate it. Always appreciate chatters. I'm sorry that I was not as engaged with chat as I normally would be tonight. I had to improv all things because there weren't maps. But yeah, we are starting the raid in a few seconds. Everyone just please remember to be nice. We are good streamer neighbors. I got you. Pop on the raid now button. And all right, yeah, so the raid has gone through. I'm going to